Howdy folks, welcome to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition D&D campaign. I am Joe Treff, your DM for this evening, and joining me are my friends Matt, Kara, Hannah, and Alana. Tina will be with us shortly. But we'll a couple of announcements before we get started with our D&D this evening. Matt, why are you leaning so far back?
So my crunchies don't go into the mic.
I wasn't really expecting there to be a real answer.
Yeah. I appreciate it though.
So we played Mosaic Team 5 last night, session 42. There was a lot of things that happened. Highly recommend that you check that out. You can do so on YouTube this Sunday when it re-airs at noon. We're out at Alberon RPG. What?
I was trying to find the YouTube link. We don't have it. Though.
No, we have a new overlay, which you may notice. It's a little bit more crisp and clean. It has, just like the player cameras like we had before. We have our combat camera, which looks a little bit different, a little bit more crisp and clean as well.
Yeah. I love it.
And there you can see our map of Perdido, which is from our Starfinder campaign.
Does not belong here.
So, at Alberon RPG on all different social media, you can see maps like that Perdido map and also things relating to D&D at Alberon RPG. And the final announcement that I have for this evening, for music like this nice little continuous jazz sound track. Those are the words I was trying to say. It's jack. This is jack to jazz Sirenscape, digital tool set that you could use to add music to your games. But with that, I'm going to get into our recap.
It's the chat.
Wow. It's always the chat.
It's always the
also,
chat.
Gunnar, hope you feel better.
Yeah, I feel better, Gunnar. Yeah.
All right. Adventurers, last that we played, you spent some time interrogating the cloaked figure captured by Alina. You discovered that this individual was from a place called the Embertint Abode. And they told you that this had been a place once where things grew. It was on the facet of warmth, and so gained a great amount of sunlight. But after the prismatic conclave was established above, the lack of light, allegedly, caused many things to die. In addition, the prismatic conclave was blamed for Wake Peter flu, this disease that seemed to be caused by the water that trickled down through this sort of magical emerald that the city is formed from. After talking to you about that, you managed to get him to tell you that he had overheard this plan, though the leader now lay dead, at the mixologist. After the guards finally escorted Mika down from her position marooned amongst the corpses in the luxury box, you returned to Hearsome and reported your findings. Hearsome bid you find Diregrok to learn who was behind these poisonings. Billy, Alina, and Ori. Because you spent a little bit of time drinking relatively heavily, Alina and Billy, you especially, are going to have a long day ahead of you. Billy, you are found tied to a flag post basically above the police house. Now wearing Alina's clothes, a little bit too small for you, just shaped differently as Alina is a satyr. But you were able to recover your friend Alina, and all of you were able to set out, though many of you quite tired, south to the Heliodor Wood where you know Diregrok makes his camp. And as you walk down this hillside covered in hyacinths, the date, because somebody had asked, is the 6th of Summertide, 1481 TA. It is about 1 p.m. This is Thursday, for those of you keeping score. As you walk down this hillside, it's maybe 75 degrees, pleasantly warm, and all around you there are hyacinths, and blues and purples that bloom, giving a faintly sweet smell to the air. Down the hill, and there are people kind of walking to and from. You had heard various rumors about different things happening. But you now make your way towards this tower that you know you can descend down a staircase, reach the bottom shores of this kind of large lake that is in the middle of the continent, and from there make your way south to the Heliodor Wood. Give me just one moment, and let me change our music.
We got the horses, right?
Yes,
We have
you
the
are
horses,
half
yeah.
tied to one of them right now.
And on her way out, despite
Right.
Alina's refusal to accept any additional information from Hersom,
Okay.
a kind NPC did stop us and give us information about
Dweepy.
what we might
My
be
man
covering.
Dweepy hooked me up too.
Dweepy?
Yeah.
Dweepy hooked Ori up with a little bit of stargrass.
Oh, right, and you
Gave
tied
Minka
yourself to
a
the
little
horse.
bit of a druid crafting implements, just assembled from various bits. Yeah.
I'll keep his party alive somehow.
I like to imagine that Cheshire currently, just for fun, is casting Minor Illusion of a crying baby.
Just following the party at
Yeah, yeah.
distance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Or
Just to make it worse for your hangovers.
God, Cheshire.
She probably like watched the two of you all night, just like, oh, look at those.
Hundo P. Without drinking a drop.
Tomorrow.
Okay, so you make your way down this hillside, and without too much trouble, to get to the woods themselves is a pretty simple task. You go to a tower that essentially serves as a bridge vertically. You make your way down some stairs, and you wind up on the bank of a river. Roughly 1:30, the sun hits this space, and though there are a couple clouds in the sky, it's very pretty here. Across this lake, and it is a huge lake, you can see vaguely in the distance mountains. And Ori and Minka, you know these mountains form sort of the eastern edges of the magiocracy of the Rising Storm. You can make your way south down this fine gridded beach sand, and before too long, you would come to this forest, probably at about 2:30 in the afternoon. And as you get away from the beach, the traffic becomes less and less. Alina and Billy, the two of you, had made your way around the forest, kind of along the periphery. The way that you have been instructed to go is straight through. And most of the individuals that are on this main path, they go roughly where you had come from. There is more of an established trail off into the west. But you all head south and towards these forest line of almost oaks, elms, and various other trees. This is known as the Heliodor Woods. And here there's a huge arcane sphere of harnessed nature magic that has been contained with elements of the arcane. And together these help these heavily oaken forests grow. As you get closer, you can see Minka, white, red, and green oaks that all flourish here. And the way that their limbs reach out, and many times you can see they kind of entwine, and here and there have actually almost grafted. And so there are places where there are actual walls of living wood. But most of these all organic and grown. You can see there are places where limbs have been carefully cut away and regrown over time. This is a sustainably harvested forest, and formed for many of those reasons. You had heard, as you had made your way in this direction, that there were many gems here. And Minka, you see the first one. As you get a little bit closer, and the woods are maybe 10 feet in front of you, although it's dark within, here and there you see little glints in the dark. Nestled within the ferns and the kind of low sagebrush, there are little dark crystals. And though they are dark, they shine bright.
Alina is remembering that Minka loves shiny things. Alina's going to be like, remember, don't touch the gems. They could bring us to what that fellow, what was his name? The drug dealer. What was his name?
Dweepy?
Yeah, Dweepy. Remember, he said it could bring you to the dark place. And that would be inconvenient.
That reminds me.
True.
So just don't touch them, Minka.
Okay.
I'm gonna start.
As you're talking to Minka, and you can see Minka's eyes glimmer, you're kind of like, Minka, just,
Are there crystals above head height?
make a perception check. You smell a pungent aroma suddenly taken to the wind, and this is stargrass, which is essentially marijuana. It's coming from Ori, who is now packing it into a pipe. Shades of Campaign 1. But no problem.
Already,
over to-
Ori, we've been awake for not very, okay. Yep, no, that's good.
I've
Just
been
as long as you're
awake
tied to
for
your horse
quite a
there.
bit. I didn't have as much fun as you did last night. So,
I guess that's true.
I think,
I heard you had got into quite a drinking contest, though.
yeah, I'll get them sometime. And
Make a wisdom saving throw.
okay, and I'm tied to the horse.
Yes. Canonically, yes, you are lashed to your own horse.
That perception check was what was it? It was 11 plus 18, and then that wisdom saving throw was a natural 1.
Okay. Good. So you're like a little early, huh? And he's like, I've been awake for some time. And as he takes this long inhale, there's the crackle of this kind of dried herb. And as he exhales, you almost swear you can see the vaguely pointed ears of Ori kind of a little bit. The smoke comes out of his nose, his mouth, also a little bit his eyes. The entirety of his sinus cavity is just kind of flushed with smoke for a second. Ori, as this kind of clears your eyes, everything looks like it's behind frosted glass. Looking at your friends, every time you kind of rub at your eyes for a second, it's a little better, but it's almost like those stickers full of oil. They kind of come back and it gets frosted again. But that frost, it's kind of warm and kind of nice, and the horse is really giving you a nice like back and forth, and you're getting a little tired. You would imagine, first of all, Ori, Alina, and Billy, the three of you are probably, if you're going to be having a long journey, at some point will be feeling the effects of not sleeping so well. Something to think about.
Level of exhaustion?
Huh?
Level of exhaustion?
Yeah, you're probably about 3 hours away from starting to make checks. So,
Checks against
exhaustion.
becoming exhausted, or okay.
So the way that works is as you begin to push into that, regularly you'll be making checks which are, Constitution saving throws against exhaustion, and then as they stack, different effects, accumulate.
Can, just mechanically, is this something that can be avoided with a short rest, or only a long rest, or none of the above?
You need a long rest. Okay. Yeah, it's, this is not sleeping. And so you can micro nap and try to stave it off, but ultimately, you might be able to push it back by a few hours.
How long are we on the road now until we get to to the
Dire Croak.
Dire Croak, yeah. Dire Croak's hut.
You don't really know. Probably a couple hours, but you're right at the edge of the tree line, and the forest is in front of you.
All right.
You haven't been here before?
I'm on a horse, so be fine.
I'm on a horse.
Ori, what if we need to fight?
Just wake me up.
Okay.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
I'll still be
Like,
here.
how many
I'm right
fights
here.
really
This
are we gonna
is-
get into here and there, right?
Well,
We're in a mystical wood where things get real big and real fast and maybe cover themselves in exploding gems that take us to the Shadowfell. We'll be fine.
now that you say that, I probably should have waited.
Well, enjoy your high anyway.
And Ori, now the shadows feel real dark. But
do we know where we're going, or are we just farting around
South.
hoping to stumble on the camp?
I guess seems to know.
We're going south.
Oh, did my perception spot?
Are we
any
actually
crystals?
going south, by the way?
You see these oak trees, you can see there are a few, yes, you are. There are a few birds and things of that nature,
They're growing along the ground, though.
mostly along the ground. You don't see any erupting from the trees, any hanging from vines. No real vines either.
Cool.
But yeah, here and there on the ground, you do see these glimmering, dark gems. And in the shadows, they seem to cast a very, very dull glow. But you make your way into the tree line. And who is leading this group, and what is your marching order?
I would probably be taking up the rear on the horse.
If Minka seems to know where we're going, I would let her follow.
Kara, can you grab the minis? They're up in the gazebo, in the Feywild gazebo.
Do you actually know where we're going, or are you just really confident?
I'm just really confident. I know that we needed to go south, and Minka just is going to assume that a settlement will be obvious.
This is suspicious of everyone. Billy's gonna do
You can
his.
open that too. You don't have to pick
Oh.
it up. Yeah. Yeah. Function overflow.
Oh, my hand is still might not fit inside.
So, yeah, please place yourself in a
yachts
marching
it.
order. As you are walking through the forest, here and there, it's not super, super crowded. The elm trees, as they grow out, the arms sprawl. And so the trunks can't be super close together. So you can walk 2 to 3 wide. It's not really a problem.
Yeah, I would definitely be towards the front because he's also fascinated by everything that this wood has sounded like. Still,
All over the place.
the crystals, the potential to go somewhere else where it sounded lots of star-themed things were going on. She's very excited to be here.
Is Cheshire with us, by the way?
Cheshire, as far as you can tell, no, but you've heard here and there a baby crying consistently from the Emerald Spire on.
Okay.
And at first, you guys were like, wow, somebody's bringing a baby on a long journey.
Yeah.
And then you get down and you're like, we haven't seen Cheshire. And then when you're literally away from nobody and you're in the middle of a field, the forest in front of
Someone
you.
put a baby in that bag?
Yeah, there's a baby crying. And you're like, okay, so Cheshire's around.
Yeah, okay.
Who brought the baby?
So, you were gonna make an insight check to see if Minka actually knows what's happening.
Minka, as you are leading the group, what are you doing? Are you really keeping a good lookout? Are you making your best effort to find this place? Or are you looking for maybe a safe rock, a really, really pretty safe rock?
All
in
right.
This beautiful forest full of
So
rocks.
right now, Minka's like levels of attention are first things first. We should try to find this like settlement place. But if I happen to also see a rock that's definitely safe, 100% gonna go touch it.
Billy got a 13 on that insight to see if Minka knows what she's doing.
I guess I'll roll persuasion. That was a really good roll.
6.
No, it actually was very good. I am terrible at the alphabet. 17.
Billy's mildly impressed. Like, she was under the impression that Minka just was like kind of like a flouncy lunatic. But, you know, actually seems to know her way around a forest.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, very confident.
Yeah.
Well, if Billy seems satisfied, then Alina's satisfied. But Alina's gonna say to Minka, do you want me to send Petal to scout ahead?
Oh, that would be great. She can go invisible, yeah?
Yeah.
That might be smart.
All right, so I'm gonna... Oh, sorry.
No, then maybe she can also tell us if there are any, particularly large rocks we need to avoid. Because it seems like if what Billy was saying was right, as we go deeper, things get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So, eventually we might see a really big one.
Okay. Am I on one of the horses? And if not, can I be?
So Ori's on one. Whoever would like to be on the other can. Yeah, nobody's claimed it.
All right, I'm on the horse, and so I say to Petal, all right, Petal, it's time to shine, and then I'm going to do the thing where I can see through her eyes and hear through her ears, and so you watch Alina's body just kind of like that, and Petal's like, okay, here I go, and
The horse is kind of like bothered as the way he shifts. But yeah, no problem.
and then you see Petal pop out of invisibility and just kind of wave at everybody, and then pop back invisible, and you presume off she goes, and so she's gonna scout ahead a bit, and Alina can see what's going on.
So Alina, as Petal goes ahead, you get a little bit of a sense for this wood as it unfolds. It is getting a little denser, but here and there where there are openings, there are these little circles of sunlight in which flowers grow, vibrant little clusters of plants grow, and then away from there it becomes ferns, and then kind of just like dead foliage amongst and around the trunks. But there are definitely like these big pockets of life. In those pockets, you do see a number of crystals, but each one that you've seen, the same kind of dark gem. Make a perception check. And
15.
15. Okay. That is what you see. Minka, as you are leading this group, please roll a d100. And as you have Petal's help, you can elect to add up to or subtract up to 25.
Damn.
Oh.
Oh no.
This represents Petal either helping by going left or going right. It could be helpful or it could not.
Let's add 25 for 50.
Okay.
Even 50.
Would you like 25 or would you like 0 or 50?
0 would have been fun.
So
We
fall
all
into
just
a
get
black hole.
aneurysms, yeah.
Campaign 2.
So the way that this works, you
comes
walk
along
for a little bit, and you're looking for this like settlement, and all settlements have walls, and all walls start on the ground. And if you see a rock, that's pretty cool too. So you spend some time, looking, especially at the ground, but also you do a good job of keeping like a good amount of attention. You begin to notice as you get deeper into the woods, there is more life here. There are deer that kind of walk around to the periphery, maybe 60, 70 feet away, curious and not really afraid of you guys necessarily, but not really willing to approach either. You see there are squirrels, chipmunks. At one point, actually, you hear this of big wings, and you look up a little bit nervous. It's a turkey, like 13 feet up in the tree, full size, just like roosting up there, which they do.
They're fucking
It's really upsetting to
crazy.
see. I
I was outside one time. There's a flock of turkeys, and they.
I have to
It was
admit,
like
I was listening to
something
that
was
being
about
like,
to kill
wow,
me.
Joe is really
And it was
fleshing this
turkeys.
fantasy world out
They
with things
blot
that
out
are
the
stupid and not
sun.
true, but
That's
There you
the whole
go.
thing. There are rabbits, there are possums, there are all kinds of birds, and this is a place that is very much alive. For any kind of danger that is here, it doesn't seem to present too much to the natural wildlife that is here. For what it's worth. You come to a place where there are boxwood shrubs that dot the landscape. There are goat-speared bushes that are now kind of beginning to line up along these areas, and you're beginning to see with that roll pathways. And these aren't really game trails. These are something that are used by individuals capable of keeping them clear. You can see like large branches that have fallen that have been shifted to the side. There are places where like large rocks have been shifted to make almost places where like paths will intersect. There is some element of regularity in which this is traversed, but for the moment you only see animals. An hour goes by, a second hour goes by, and Ori, you're sleeping this whole time?
I'm dozing, and I'm picturing myself just sort of like hugging the horse's neck as we go.
You're
I'm
about
just like-
halfway through your 4-hour trance, so you're doing pretty good. However, warlocks, you're getting kind of tired.
Yeah.
You had a long night. There's a pounding behind your head. You're a little dehydrated, even though you've been drinking water,
With ginger slices.
Yeah, with ginger slices, fresh ginger slices. And so I'll say, Billy, you feel a little less shitty than Alina does.
Billy shared?
Yeah, okay. Both of you feel
Billy.
the same amount shitty.
Yes.
But there is a point where it's getting hard to even stay awake. As miserable as it would be, Alina, to sleep on a horse, you like look over at Ori, who actually looks pretty comfortable.
looks pretty good, yeah.
It's beginning to look like kind of an attractive option. For you, Billy, you're walking. And for a while, it's okay to just kind of turn your brain off and put one foot in front of the other. But as this does get a little bit more scrubland and you begin to have your feet tangled and things, you actually have to pay attention to where you're going, and it's getting more and more tiring. Go ahead and make exhaustion checks, please. These are constitution
How does
saving
this work?
throws.
Con save. Oh no.
Oh.
Natural 1 for a total of 4.
I'm glad that, thank you.
Meets it, beats it.
13.
13.
Damn it! I had a plan and everything. I was just waiting to like have an opportunity. No. Sorry.
I don't know if I have exhaustion. That's something I don't know.
Billy, like, as she's walking along and sees Alina starting to, like, doze off on top of the horse, gets, like, she's already pretty grumpy because she has to walk. She's hungover and she's tired. She's gonna get grumpier and she's just gonna, like, casually, like, stumble, into Alina on the horse and, like, kind of shove into her just to wake her up a little bit.
Billy. Oh. You're right there, Billy.
Yeah, just so rude. I'm sorry.
Oh. Well, maybe. Sorry, I'll let you resolve this.
No, it actually makes a lot of sense as both of you gain a level of exhaustion, and you can just put that on your mini so I can remember for combat.
Yay!
Sorry.
You
In case we have
begin
combat.
to stumble more and more.
Probably not
So-
gonna be important.
As you stumble, it's really your disadvantage on ability checks trying to navigate this kind of scrubland. It gets harder and harder for you, and you're kind of rolling, worse and worse as you go.
Okay, so Alina feels bad that Billy tripped, and so she's gonna be like, all right, hold on, everybody, hold on. And she's gonna climb off the horse, let Billy climb on the horse, and then go into her, or hand the ring to Billy and go inside the ring.
Okay.
And at this point, I think I would have called Petal back if Petal's got like nothing to report.
At the moment, you're seeing just a lot of forest and a lot of woodland creatures. And Petal's getting a great look at some deer. They're not super afraid of Petal, and so Petal, as long as they can get about 60 feet out, can get right up to some woodland creatures.
All right, well, I'll tell her, I'll stop like seeing and hearing through her eyes so I can have my senses back, but I'll tell her, just be ready to come back whenever I call you.
Okay. So you watch as Alina gets off the horse, takes off this ring, gives it to Billy, and then just disappears into this ring again.
Bye.
Billy, are you going to attempt to rest?
Yeah, Billy's gonna try.
Okay. Trying is good.
Do you also need to be tied to a horse?
Billy really doesn't want to look stupid. Hold for roll to decide if Billy would want that.
You look stupid. I look rested.
You do, of all of us, you probably are the one who looks like happiest.
Billy will lash herself to the horse a little bit.
Billy stares at you, Minka, as you make that suggestion and doesn't accept your help, but just like and then like somehow still glaring at you falls asleep. Like the eyes a little open for a bit before finally they fall shut.
It's like the cat eyes when they're like awake but also sleeping and they're just staring at you and it's like
yeah, it's kind of hard to tell too. Minka, you are now awake. You look over, Ori's asleep. Actually, everybody's asleep.
Yeah.
Just you and some horses. And so you have a little bit of time here where, you might want to, if you wish, you can slow down and take a little bit of a more careful look for some kind of a stone.
I mean, if everyone's resting, clearly that means we're not in like a huge rush. So if I take a few minutes and just really kind of look at one or two, I won't touch them, especially on the like dark ones, but I
Make an
definitely want to
investigation
look at
check.
them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's an amazing. I'm so glad Minka's so smart. Still better than Eleanor's. Just so sad. 10.
Poor Eleanor.
Yeah, for heroic too. You begin to look along the side of the road, and here and there you'll like see something, and you'll go off a little bit. There are some of these Heliodor gems that are beginning to look a little bit more ornate, like they're getting bigger as you go further in, and so you'll see areas where they branch out into 2 facets or 3. You'll see areas where they'll form separate stalks, all kinds of different like growth patterns that are beginning to emerge, and as you get further, they get a little bit more elaborate. With that roll, you're finding like little bits of granite, little bits of basic sedimentary rock, but nothing too interesting. However, as you are the only person left to make these checks, go ahead and roll a D100.
I can see and hear from inside my thing, just
Fantastic.
for the record.
So you can see this check.
I'm in my trance, so I can too, right? I'm in a semi-conscious state.
Depends. What's the high like?
with that natural one, I don't know.
Dweepy be making me sleepy.
Dweepy makes you sleepy. All right. Give me 1 second here. Okay. Minka, everybody is asleep. It is perhaps 4 or 5 p.m. And so it's fading from the afternoon that is sort of like the slightly brighter evening sun that you would normally see. It's beginning to get a little bit more dark. And the regular sky is transitioning to be almost like this gem above. As it gets darker, the trees seem to be growing a little bit further apart here and there. You reach a point where they're no longer really tangled as much. And you find a patch where you can see the canopy decreases and long wrapping grapevines have twisted overhead. And they form a thick canopy of grape leaves. And you can see there are diamond-shaped grapes. Each one of these purples and kind of every now and then one that's almost like a faint lilac, but instead of like a circle, it is just like a cut diamond coming down, and you can see like the tuft of leaves and the little curly elements that lead to the vine. If you want, go ahead and make a nature check.
We're all in Minka's hands now.
I'm rolling really great tonight. It's really good. And I still know my alphabet. A 9.
With a 9, you've never heard of these before. From where you live, there aren't a whole lot of vines. This kind of life doesn't really grow there, and so you've never heard of this. But these are not those gems that you've been warned about. Maybe they're grapes. This is definitely like a grape plant, but they look like diamonds. Like purple diamonds.
Everyone is like still asleep, but they're still we're still around, right? Like they're still together.
Make a perception check. Yes. You can see there are these 2 horses. Ori is tied to one, and just the arms are wrapped around the neck of that horse. Billy is still you're not really sure if they're glaring at you. They've been snoring a little bit off and on, but they're still kind of mean monkey.
A 13.
With a 13, no. It seems like nobody's paying attention. It seems like everybody is out and unaware.
Okay, so Minka's gonna basically like halt the horses.
Okay.
And then see if there's a tree she can realistically climb to grab one of these.
Alina, from your bottle, you're kind of like looking out and watching and just trying to like take it easy. You're not feeling that great. And with like the rock of the horse, it's not the best even in here. But suddenly it stops and you're like, thank God. Like it doesn't even matter. Like Minka can take a rest. That's great. And then you see Minka, like, it's like kind of like fish eye. It's like Minka, like, and you can see Minka, like, pet the horse a little bit, and then go over and, like, pull the other horse over and pet the horse. And then Minka just begins to look at trees. Minka, you find a tree that you could climb, no problem. It's a red oak. The way that the arms kind of wrap around, you could walk almost like steps up these. You're still climbing a tree, but and you are stepping on the edges, and so at the bottom it'll be a little dicey. But you can climb the tree, no problem.
Yeah.
And you can see the vines, they intertwine with the canopy here, and so you don't even need to get all the way up.
Excellent. Perfect. We're going to try to get some of those delicious looking grapes.
Okay, make an athletics check or an acrobatics check if you would like to make this a little bit more interesting.
Can I see the grapes, or do I just not care?
I would say the sort of way that I'm imagining this with like bent glass is sort of you're seeing like everything in front and around you, but things that are high up,
Okay.
it would be kind of distorted.
So from my perspective, she's just farting around.
It's like you're
Just like
looking
on a
out of a
tree.
porthole
And, like,
in a
for
submarine.
Minka, that kind of makes sense.
Not that weird. Okay.
I can do
On a nice
acrobatics.
twig.
Okay.
I'm slightly better at acrobatics than I am
Yeah.
athletics. So, a natural 20 for a total 23.
Nice.
Alina, you are the only person that perceives this. And I would say, Cheshire, you too, as my headcanon for what you've been doing at this point has basically been like very stealthily following at a distance and every now and then making minor illusion baby cry. And, just to bother people. And so you can jump in at any point that you wish. I think you need to be within 120 feet. That's the only real limitation. So, Minka, you climb this tree, and you, Alina, you watch as Minka doesn't just climb this tree. Minka like puts the horses away and gets everything set up, and then Minka kind of takes a step back and then like handsprings into the tree, grabs one of these limbs and reaches up, and you're able to, if you want, just pinch one of these little diamonds and just pull it off.
You mean grapes?
It's like a diamond-shaped grape.
It's a grape.
So it's a grapevine. The grapes shaped like diamonds.
Diamond grape.
And so I'm
So
calling
is it
them
a
diamonds.
diamond or is it a grape?
So as you grab it, if I could finish my sentence.
Sorry.
This diamond, it is a diamond. It feels like a stone. But that's not really what catches your attention. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Excellent.
As you pull this little diamond out and it tink away, you can see there's an area where almost like a stalk of like a pumpkin, it seems to have grown out and at some point become this little diamond shape. And as you like tink it away, it's like a liquid-filled diamond. There is a sort of kind of it's called a hydro something crystal. It's a real thing in the real world, where like water, stone petrifies around water, and so it's like water inside. This is very similar. It's almost like this fruit juice produced a sap that then sort of became like amber around it, and then has naturally this kind of faceted form. However, as you pull it away, the leaves around it kind of unfold, and the leaves split into 8 legs, and the spider, roughly the size of your hand, drops onto your arm, and you feel as it sinks its fangs into you.
I rolled a 16 for my dex check.
For your
That
dex
helped.
save?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was an 11 for some reason.
No, I rolled a 16.
There you go. As these teeth sink out, you are able to brush this away. This natural 20 from your acrobatics check, part of this entire thing, Alina, you don't even see anything other than just Minka going into a tree. But as you, like, slow motion grab this and the leaves unfold into a spider, it's really just like, oh, no. Brush it off, and in this slow motion moment, you watch as all these leaves begin to break apart into spiders. You can see your sleeping friends all underneath this big canopy. Is there anything that you would like to do to try to prevent them from getting poisoned?
Yes. So let me see what I prepped because
Think quick, because the spiders are falling.
I'm inside a ring. I'm fine.
Oh no, does
My
the horse
spells that I
poison?
prepped today.
Have
were
pity, man.
mostly
She's a druid with so many
for
Anything that
spells.
you would like to do?
Other things.
Save the horsies.
I feel like Cheshire would just find this
Billy,
hilarious.
So
make dexterity saving throws at disadvantage as you are asleep.
So,
I'm-
do I have to do it with like extra disadvantage? Because I'm also.
No, there's only one disadvantage. This is also symbolic of basically your horse helping you out because you are asleep.
Nice.
the only thing I could do is produce flame to throw like a tiny fireball at the spiders. I'm just gonna blob a little fire sphere at the closest
Phenomenal.
spider.
Okay, great. Anything that you want to do, Cheshire?
How close is everybody together?
The horses are probably about 5 feet apart. They're right next to each other, and Ori and Billy are on those horses. And you saw Alina disappear into a ring that Billy is holding. Kind of weird, but you would imagine that means they're all clustered together.
Sure.
Very close, 10 feet,
Um,
15 feet with Alina.
pulling out the
An 18.
panpipes, you all hear this kind of melody for Minka at least, the rest of you asleep. And I'm casting Fog Cloud.
Okay,
Ooh.
very nice.
Welcome back, Cheshire.
There is this cloud that just erupts from a point that you can choose. And from that point, suddenly it goes from this one spider, and you go, no, and then spider, and then cloud. And you can't see anything. You are in this bank of fog. For you, Alina, it's like, oh, Minka climbing a tree. Oh, I guess some clouds are rolling in. You can't really hear quite as much, and so it's just nothing is really happening for you.
That is nothing suspicious whatsoever.
Billy
I'm
is
curled up
sleeping,
on my little
Ori is
whatever.
sleeping.
Yeah.
Or your horse is kind of throws its head and like moves a little bit to the side, and so you kind of slide a little bit, and you don't really feel anything. Now this-
Headcanon says that Cheshire's fog cloud kind of looks like
It's kind of sparkling.
the big fairy clouds from that certain Nintendo game that shall not be named, where they go like.
Animal Crossing.
And then just
Yeah.
in the distance,
I know what game that is. Not a sponsor.
Guys,
So this is a 20-foot sphere, and it makes this entire area heavily obscured. Okay. So you can hear as these roughly hand-sized spiders are still landing, but now you don't get to see them.
Billy rolled a natural one.
Ooh, that's a toughie.
Did I hear her say,
This is for Billy.
guys?
It's a gift, and it's being poisoned.
Thanks.
Did you say, guys?
Yeah,
out loud?
yeah.
I think at that point, Alina would be
Stacking
like,
up.
and
For
then
the early bird.
Stacking those effects.
appears next to the horse where she was standing before, and there's fog, and like, does she perceive the
So
spiders
make a
at all?
dexterity saving throw.
No, all
And
right.
make it a disadvantage as it is a heavily obscured area, and you're just bouncing into it.
We're starting off
You said
strong.
disadvantage.
I did. You guys are doing all.
all of you fell asleep and left Minka alone.
Oh yeah. I didn't have to do anything.
Oh, yeah.
You guys put yourselves in.
Oh, yeah.
No regrets. 18 for me.
Phenomenal. So you like suddenly appear in the fog, and then you feel these shapes moving towards you. You just take one step back, and these two big spiders land in the grass. You can barely see them through the mist, but they crawl out. And yeah, gross. You look over and you can see one on Billy's face right as it goes and sinks its fangs into her cheek. Billy just kind of goes, ugh, and just kind of brushes it off. But Billy, you are poisoned.
I'm gonna
How long?
I'm gonna shake Billy and be like, Billy,
2.5 hours.
Billy, wake up. Spiders.
No.
Spiders. Come on.
So, I don't care.
I didn't.
Are they big spiders?
One of them just bit you, Billy. Did you not feel it?
Yes, I'm tired.
I know. And are these, how big are these again? Like hand sized, you said?
Yeah, and now that they've hit the ground, many of them slowly are beginning to crawl away. This is kind of their ambush predators, and that's their ambush.
So they're not. So once they land, they don't seem hostile.
They're not like super fast or anything. These are essentially tarantulas, and so now they're kind of slowly crawling their way to like climb back up the trees, presumably.
Okay. All right. So now that Billy's awake, Alina's gonna just kind of shake Ori and be like, Ori, spiders. Ori, can you wake up?
Spiders?
Yeah.
Let's get the spiders.
Oh, okay. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay.
In the distance,
Minka
Lincoln
is
just
holding.
cackling.
Sure. Come on.
Minka is holding a little diamond. This is a 50 gold piece diamond that you can add to your inventory.
Yes. Do I recognize anything about it other than like what's already been described?
Make a nature check and make it at advantage.
Not to be a butt, but would that be canceled
Exhaustion.
out because
Yeah.
of the exhaustion? So
Yeah.
it's just flat.
Thank you. Well, I rolled 2 15s, so
Awesome.
yeah.
Technically, it would be double canceled out because you're also poisoned.
I'm poisoned?
Aren't you? Oh no!
No,
Sorry,
you-
it's Billy is poisoned.
I was in the ring.
It's
Thank you
hard
very
to-
much.
Because Billy's hair same
Looks like
exact-
Brenna's, I know.
and that's what really messes me up.
Yeah.
So,
What was I doing? Oh, 15. I'm sorry. What kind of check was that? Nature.
nature check. With a 15,
18.
looking at the 18. With an 18, looking at this, these are grapes that do typically grow within the Feywild, and they are used in like a fermented sort of application to make something called Wild Whisper wine. It can produce a lightly psychotropic effect. It is a hard drink to produce, but the end result is ultimately that you are able to hear this very faint music, and it's purported to be the same for everybody, which is a unique and kind of interesting property.
But they're not like dangerous to touch.
No, however, those spiders, you recognize those. They have these dark red violin-shaped markings. These are Feywild recluse spiders. They're much larger than their traditional material plane counterparts, and their bites, they do create this kind of poison. It's not actually as dangerous as a brown recluse necessarily, but you're going to feel bad for a little bit.
Okay.
You'd imagine Billy's going to feel pretty bad for about an hour.
She's still tied to the horse.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna just pat her on the shoulder and be like, all right, well, that's over, I guess. And she's gonna kind of look around for spiders, notice that they're skittering away, and be like, Billy, maybe you best go back to sleep.
Fine.
Maybe we should get out from underneath. Okay. I think I'm just gonna grab the horses and just try to like maneuver them out from underneath the canopy.
I'll help, because I can't go back into my ring at this point, so I'll help.
So now, Alina, as you are helping either Alina or Minka for the third leg of this journey, please roll a D100.
Do you want to do it this time?
I'll do it.
That long rest. Let's go.
What was
3 hours.
What was Joe? What was the name
Almost
of
there.
the diamond grape?
It's gonna be fun.
You didn't get the name of the
Okay,
grapes for
never mind.
15, but you know that they're used to be fermented into Wild Whisper wine. It's spelled W-Y, Wild Whisper. Super
Obviously.
It's fantasy one.
There's one day, I think in campaign 6, you'll understand why there are a few places that have Y as wild instead of I. I'm super excited for that, but it's also like something that is so dumb, but I want to hold on to until it comes up.
In campaign 6.
I think so.
So like several years from now.
Because wild, yeah.
When we're all 70.
Yeah. Okay.
We won't be 70 by campaign 6. We'll be in our 50s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Autumn will join us.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other cool thing is, we'll be playing long enough.
We'll be
technically.
Gen 2.
Yeah. Oh man, that would be super cool. I would probably cry a little bit. Oh. I got one more.
58, and I guess let's go ahead and add 25 to that for a total of whatever 58 plus 25 is.
Phenomenal.
83.
Yeah.
So you
can do
take
math.
Petal out, and she just goes invisible and scouts out ahead for you. Now that you're paying a little bit more attention, not just one person who is maybe not the best person to be paying attention in the forest full of nice stones, you have a little bit more success navigating. In addition to the little animals that kind of come and go, I would say, Alina, you notice first, about 60 feet away, you begin to hear the sound of trickling water. A little bit louder than trickling, and then you recognize, maybe like a little bit closer, there's a waterfall ahead. This waterfall seems to be coming down through a living tree, not falling down stone, but a very heavily moss or algae encrusted tree. Behind this tree, there is a gray granite ridge that rises up about 20 feet, and you can see pools of water have formed here and there in these almost natural basins. On one side, you can see there are these cranberry bogs. Most of you would know what cranberries are, and so they grow in patches here and there.
Cranberries.
In the middle sort of little basin, there is a bunch of small rice fish, and you can see they kind of flitter here and there. But ultimately, what you really notice here is this ridge. This granite ridge rises above the tree line. And so, were you to climb this, you would get a very good look at the surrounding area. That being said, you can also just continue.
Well, do you think it's worth going up there? I have one plan B, in case we need it. But
What's your plan B?
I have a spell that can find a animal or a plant that I'm at least a little bit familiar with, and we know that this dire croak guy is a grung, and I know what grungs are, so I can locate a grung within a certain range.
Not a bad idea. Why doesn't one of us just try to get our bearings, though?
Yeah.
And Alina's gonna
That's
look
always-
around for Cheshire to see if she wants to contribute. Okay.
Hear that from like whatever tree you're perched up in, or whatever area that you're kind of hiding in. Is there anything that you want to do?
Minor illusion? Like some bushes rustling as far in the other direction from where I am as possible.
Okay.
Okay. Guess Cheshire is
A
just
little
doing her own
wind
thing.
just goes through this bush apparently, and only this bush.
How high up is the ridge?
Only about 20 feet. And
Okay.
it's almost like a big boulder, maybe, or something like that. It's a pronounced rocky outcropping in an otherwise relatively flat area, and so it does rise up. It's not hard to climb. It really is just a place that you could look above everything else.
Alright. Do you want? How are you feeling about a climb, or shall I?
I'm not great at climbing, but I can make sure whoever does climb doesn't fall and die.
All right then. Let me have it. I guess I'm climbing.
Okay.
So I have. Let me just double check how exactly this.
I'm not great at climbing, says the one who
Is this
rolled a
for the
natural 20
You
to
know,
climb a
if it
tree.
woke me up and I
Yeah, it's
smoked more of
reaction.
that
So it's like, oh,
stargrass, I could just
so-
float up.
I'm gonna cast guidance.
You said you
I'm
wanted to keep
Alina.
something.
I love that.
And then she's like, just don't fall. You got this.
Doing my best, dear. All right, I'll climb up.
No problem. So with this strong magical protection in place, you climb up the tree. Go ahead and make an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice. And it's a low DC. This is an easy climb. It
But I
really
have
is just.
disadvantage, sorry.
Yeah, you do.
You can add D4.
You do get to add a D4 as it was not Featherfall. It was guidance that was cast.
Okay, that's a 14. You said athletics?
Yeah.
13.
13. Okay, no problem.
Or acrobatics. Your choice.
Yeah.
16.
Your hooves kind of like skid on the moss a little bit, but you make your way up without too much issue. It is more humid here, and with the trickling waterfall now only about 10 feet away, the humidity here is more pronounced. And so you do slip and slide a little bit, but after you make it past the sort of like 10-foot mark, you're able to climb pretty easily the rest of the way. And you make your way into the very tops of the canopies of these oak trees here. And you can see all the way out. Make a perception check.
Look at that, double 14s.
Those are some blessed dice.
They are blessed. Don't jinx it.
Sorry.
16.
Yeah, Kara, you of all people.
I'm sorry.
Those are some blessed dice.
Yeah, that's like our Dan. Alina, this is a forest that continues on for a pretty significant distance, but one of the things that you can see from here is this huge orb that is kind of drifting over the forest. As the wind blows, it drifts a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left. It's almost like a balloon that has an invisible tether. And you can see it is a very, very soft green light that seems to have tiny little sigils at this distance, completely unreadable. But you can see there is like a very definitive like detail to the lines that go around it. Some kind of an arcane ward that is keeping this in place. And it does shed this soft light. And you, having been to the Feywild, this would probably be considered daylight when you talk about, plants and things of that nature. Though it is soft light, not, glaringly bright or harsh.
Mm-hmm.
This casts a light on the one area that you can see that is devoid of many trees. You can see a few stumps here and there. The place that does have trees in this clearing, they form almost a wall. Again, growing together so close and so thick, they form almost a living wall of oaks. And that is where the light splashes up across two buildings. You can see stones that glow in the darkness a little bit here, sort of reflecting this orb. You can see a number of old structures that maybe have, or maybe ruins of some kind, now vastly overgrown by bushes and ferns. And with that check, you can see there's a watchtower that is at the beginning, or the only place that is kind of an opening in this wood. And there you can see a couple figures moving around. They are Grungle. You've met one relatively recently. One of them is blue, one of them is green. There are some other movement, although kind of hard to tell from this distance what that might be. They are probably no more than 30 minutes to the south, a little bit to the southeast. You also notice, like on the way there, it is getting a little bit more, not boggy, but there are little deposits of more stagnant water, small ponds and things of that nature. And here and there, you are beginning to hear every now and then, as it does begin to get a little bit darker, croaks and hoots of owls and more nighttime sounds.
Okay.
Sirenscape.
I'm gonna climb back down.
Okay.
Do I need to make a check?
No.
Cool.
You can cool satyr slide your way down with your hooves.
Well, I'm gonna use. I guess I'll use mirthful leap to make it extra cool.
Oh, like an ibex.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
like an ibex.
Yeah, I'm imagining when they jump, when they go, they jump on something and they do the joyous leap off the side.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
It's called pronking.
Oh my gosh, that's cute.
I love it.
So I pronk down, and then I'll tell Minka what I saw, and then I'll say, so we're pretty close. Perhaps we'd better rest. I don't know if we're in entirely the best shape to be fighting grungs.
Or it has been 4 hours.
Yeah, we do have 2 sleeping members.
What did I miss?
I guess it's one sleeping member now. And I'll, as Ori wakes up, I'll just fill him in.
Spiders?
Yeah, we took care of the spiders, and we found the camp that we're headed for. Oh, I don't. Okay. Well, I thought maybe the group should take a rest.
All right. I just did. So.
Can you keep watch then?
Sure.
Okay.
You watch as the one person that you're going to put on watch begins to do drugs.
Does Petal need to rest?
Petal needs to rest.
Okay.
in that, like, you can't have Petal just, like, chilling. Like,
Just take. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Maybe we should have 2 people on watch.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll wake up a bit.
Cheshire, do you want to come join us to rest? Or are you good?
It's probably fine.
I'm sure she'll come through when things get tough.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
we stopped.
Yeah, we're gonna we found the camp. It's just a little further that way.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but I don't think we're in really fighting shape, so we should really rest.
You guys keep shouting for Cheshire, and we've just heard like baby cries, and I'm pretty sure there are animals that make that noise. You sure she's there?
Well, the fog cloud.
Yeah, there was magical fog.
I don't
and
think
if it wasn't Cheshire, that's probably a problem.
Yeah, horrifying, really.
Yes, I'll wake you up if it's something else.
Okay, I think we should set a 2-person watch.
You're welcome to stay up there.
Cheshire is fun, isn't she? Yeah. All right, I'll stay up and take the first watch.
Why
I
don't
mean, I'm literally
you got the
awake
least
right
amount of
now.
sleep?
Just,
I got a lot of rest last night. And I've been okay all day
focused.
today. We haven't really done too much.
All right, sounds good.
I'll
Without another word, shakes out her bedroll and climbs inside.
No problem.
Billy just looks for like a particularly mossy section and just goes, "Hulk." Too tired to roll out the bedroll.
The horse, as you like fall off, still tethered to the horse, and it kind of takes a couple side steps. Billy, you're dragged a little bit through the moss, but the horse calms down a little bit, and just you're in the moss tied to the horse.
Alina does not untie Billy.
I haven't started floating, have I?
Haven't started what?
Floating?
You haven't started floating.
Alina just takes her
sold me
dagger.
some
Not Alina.
fucking bunk
Billy
shit.
just takes her dagger and like cuts the rope.
And as Alina drifts to sleep, she chuckles at how dumb Billy looks.
Amazing. No problem.
We're friends.
So Billy and Alina, the two
friends.
of you begin to rest. Minka, are you keeping watch as well? Mm-hmm. Okay. So Minka and Ori, the two of you keep watch. Make perception checks, please.
Do I have any effects from my stargrass right now?
At the moment, no. Although if you continue to smoke it, you're going to be making a wisdom save, and then we'll go from there.
Cool. I continue to smoke.
Make a wisdom saving throw after the perception check.
After the perception?
After the
Okay.
perception check.
Perception is...
Because I'm nice.
I was really letting you be mean there, too.
Where I am kind.
Yeah, that was very much, you forgot to collect our homework
then-
energy.
Wisdom save. 15.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 1.
Okay.
For a total of 7.
Okay.
Hey, you're perceptive.
There we go.
You sure you're not tired?
I'm just gonna like stare into the middle distance, just not processing anything apparently.
Minka, you kind of like stare off into the distance, and then as you begin to like shuffle your feet around, look for a place to kind of like settle down for a little bit, you step on something that's a little bit uneven, and you find a stone. This stone, perfectly round. Oh my god! It's very smooth. It's a river stone, but there's no river around here. You begin to become fascinated with how this rock might have arrived. And so, with a 1 on your perception check, you find a stone. Ori. It begins to get darker. Cheshire, are you trying to rest, or you've rested, so you don't necessarily need to. You have probably another 10 hours until you need to rest.
I'm gonna mess with Ori a little bit and take like a short rest.
Okay. Okay. So
Are
you
we
begin to
short
take a
resting, by the way, or are we
Just
taking a long
unload
rest?
whatever spell
I think the
slots
goal
you
is
can
long
and
rest.
then short rest.
Okay.
Because we're exhausted and we don't want to be.
What I'll say is, you've been attempting to rest over the course of this time, and so it's not a total long rest. It'll take you about 4 hours to get the benefits of a long rest from this point forward.
Cool.
Am I still poisoned?
Yes. You were poisoned for 1 hour, so around this time, it's probably you're going to bed poisoned. You're waking up unpoisoned. Yeah.
So
There's, like,
basically
some-
like a
just,
second
like-
hangover.
Yeah. It's just your hangover got like re-upped a little bit earlier. As it gets darker, it becomes a little bit harder to see. those gems are really the only thing that provide light in some of the pockets of absolute darkness. And as the wind kind of picks up and the trees creak, the leaves shift and make it almost look like people walk through the woods here and there. You're a little stoned. You've been smoking stargrass since you woke up. And so every time you hear this little owl, your head turns around. There's a point, Cheshire, where you wake up and you're like, time to fuck with Ori. You look down, Ori's like, oh, this is great.
Pull out
Mission
panpipes
Yes.
softly, and I'm casting levitate.
Ori, make a wisdom saving throw, I believe.
It's a constitution.
Constitution save.
Even better.
I feel like Matt wants to fail this so bad.
3.
Ori, you hear a stick snap, and as you wheel around to turn, you are pushed from your feet. The ground leaves, and then you
The
realize,
horse.
yeah, you're still tied to the horse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You realize as you're like, are you on the horse?
I'm sitting on the
Okay.
horse.
So you're
and
like
I'm tied
shift,
to the
turn
horse.
around to look, and as you do, you feel as if you've been pushed off the horse. And as you like struggle and you get ready to fall, you realize you haven't been pushed. You're just slowly floating away.
Oh, dweepy.
And then slowly,
Oh.
ding, like you start like moving and rolling as the rope goes taut, and there's this kind of as the horse like wakes up a little bit and takes a couple steps to the side, and then you're kind of like
I'm pulling myself. That's why I put the rope on. I'm pulling myself
Make an
back.
acrobatic check.
Beautiful balloon.
Nice. Acrobatics.
Yeah.
That's a 24.
You go taut, and then you kind of go end over end, and you take that moment to grab onto the rope. You just give a little pull and let go, and you're going closer, like a spacewalk, and then you just pull around the horse. The horse again and shuffles another couple steps to the side. Like you're getting slowly further and further from the party, only like a foot at a time, but no problem. Cheshire, make a perception check.
Mage hand.
Oh.
Untie the.
Cheshire, no.
Make a sleight of hand check then.
I'm hugging the neck again and like petting my horse, and it's kind of just slowly moving.
It's like so it took 2 steps to the side when you kind of went taut,
Oh,
almost
okay.
like it felt like you tugged on the
Yeah.
reins a little bit, and then when you came down, it took 2 steps back to like.
Okay,
where it
but it's
was.
not like actively continuing.
No.
Okay.
It's just like every time you pull, it's gonna
It's
move
just
a
like
little
moving. Okay.
It's a 22.
bit. So you hug this horse. At any point, are you letting go of it?
Probably. I mean, I'm pretty high right now. I feel like I would be petting the horse until I realized that I was probably petting the horse for an abnormally long amount of time.
Sure.
And then I'd be like, oh, but
Cheshire,
it's nice.
Ori pets the horse for a long time. And make a perception check, please. Ori gets very fascinated with this horse. You see Minka fascinated with a rock. Nobody's really paying attention except for you.
18.
And it's a good thing. In the dark, it isn't just that the shifting trees and vegetation make it look like something is approaching. Something is approaching. But because it is 8:15, this is where we're going to take a quick break. It is actually 8:13, so we will be taking a 10-minute break. We'll be back at 8:25, and we'll see what is walking through these woods, or maybe not.
Maybe it's a friend.
Only
We'll be
good
right back.
things.
and welcome back. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us for this session of Adventures in Oberon. I'm gonna real quick just touch this camera up because we want just a tiny bit more. Alana, you don't want to want you to be visible. Ugh. Production.
I could scoot.
There we go.
We have no sponsors, but we would love some.
Money me now.
Yeah, now we have so much
Nails
space
lasted
around
almost all day.
around our
It's very
overlay
upsetting.
for little badges, icons, things like that. So fill this blank space.
You
Please
could be
sponsor.
featured here
Logos.
or over here.
Cheshire. Through the forest, almost behind Minka, you can see Minka's like currently holding this very round, very smooth rock. And they've been looking at it for a long time. They turn it in their hands extra slow. And you watch as glowing stones behind them go dark and then go light as something passes in front. It gets a little closer.
Something big, something. Can I tell what it is?
With an 18,
Yeah.
as it gets to within 30 feet of Minka, you see above the grasses there are 2 ears, feline. And you watch as the eyes kind of poke up. This is a large cat, although not huge, perhaps not full grown. It is a little bit stubbier. And you can see these yellow eyes just gazing towards Minka from behind.
Do I notice
Dropping.
anything?
No.
Levitate.
You've got bigger fish to
So
fry.
all of a sudden, as you are now about a foot off the horse, suddenly you land hard on the horse. Make an animal handling check.
Well, I
please.
feel like I was hugging it, so it was really just like my feet were floating up above, and I was kind of like,
Yeah,
you know.
so you kind of kick the horse. Make an animal handling check. At disadvantage now.
Oh, I'm trying to flavor it.
Just regular. Regular is fine.
No flavor.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Hey.
The bond between my horse and me is unbreakable.
So you're already really hugging the horse pretty tight, and you landing on it actually kind of pulls your weight from just being around its neck, and so there's almost this of relief as you like distribute your weight properly. But you're no longer floating. You've kind of come down from that high. Cheshire.
Oh,
Dancing lights
Okay.
around Minka and kind of like highlighting the cat too.
Okay.
oh,
So
And then using the pipes to create a very loud sound.
oh, that's beautiful.
so
There's all
dancing lights all around
big
you,
cat.
Nico. The stone becomes very beautiful one moment, and then you realize, no, there's lights.
Big cat, wake up, there's a cat.
Behind you, as you turn, dark, almost purple fur, there is what looks like a very young panther. Very young. Maybe 3 feet long in total, not counting the tail. And so it looks at you from about 10 feet away. It is crouched. You see the tail kind of flick behind it. And with these new lights, the eyes go up for a moment, but then
You
go
tapping
right
us?
back to you, and they go dark. You see the pupils get big, but it doesn't move.
I'm trying to shoo it away.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm
Make
gonna try to get the horse to like do one of those stomps toward it to kind of like
Okay.
get it to
Make
you
an
know.
animal handling check.
Did we wake up from the noise?
Yes. I would say there is this, and you just kind of wake up hearing this weird ethereal note.
The bond between my horse and me might be breakable because that is 12.
Okay. So you urge your horse on, and you try to get it to stomp, and as you make that sound, you see the ears kind of perk up a little bit on this creature, and it gets a little bit closer.
Draw my bow, get ready to shoot at it if it's gonna pounce.
Okay. Minka, it's maybe 5 feet away.
And
It's not full grown. This is smaller. And though it is low to the ground, make an animal handling check.
careful, don't it's getting closer to you. Just don't make any sudden movements.
Or then you see the cat and like Minka are just going back and forth like a shooting gallery in your mind.
Which one do I
A
hit?
dirty 20.
30, 20. They both have mustaches for some reason. with a dirty 20. You looking at this, it's getting closer and closer, and it's staying low to the ground. And at first, you feel a little threatened, but then you look towards the back, and you can see the tail isn't flat out; it's up, and it kind of twitches back and forth. And especially after this note goes through the air, and you hear Ori behind, inexplicably go. You're like, it seems to almost like be a little bit more playful, actually, than like pouncing. And you recognize this is a younger animal. This is almost like playful stalking. What are you doing?
I'm holding the rock in my hand. I see it's feeling playful. I don't know if Minga's ever like experienced a cat before, so she's just gonna like toss the rock to the side to see if it like goes after the rock.
Do you also like Velociraptor in Jurassic Park? It just turns right back to you.
Nice kitty.
It's a little closer, and it's getting closer in the way that it's like kind of like climbing up a little bit closer and a little bit closer, still very flat to the ground.
I think it's friendly, but I don't know what to do.
What are you doing, Ori?
Put out your hand.
We need to wake up for this. I don't
Very
think
slowly. Let it
We're
smell
awake,
you.
You're awake.
We've been woken.
I'm gonna just like Minga's gonna like just like follow her instruction, just like slowly put my hand out and be like hoping I don't get like chopped.
You feel like the fur brushing against your hands, and it's like surprisingly like bristly. And then the nose brushes against, and then there's a lick, and it's like sandpaper. It pulls up hard against your skin. Your hand kind of goes up with it because it is a young panther, but that's still much larger than a domestic cat. It's big, and then it just flops to the side and kind of paws at your hand a little bit.
I'm gonna try to find like a ribbon on my body or something that's like long and floppy,
Okay.
and kind of like do that.
You bring out a little ribbon, and as soon as you produce it, the ears perk up and it rolls back over to its side and starts swatting at it a little bit. Ori, this seems to be a relatively friendly animal.
Alina's gonna go back to sleep.
So cute.
Lower the bow and arrow.
Should we name it Bingo?
So you play with this little panther, not paying super careful attention to everything else that's going on. But as you are already close to 4 hours, those of you who are trying to long rest, you can mark off a long rest at long last. Take away that exhaustion.
Thank you.
After like a while of like playing with the cat, Minga just has a thought of like, wait, it's really young.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Ori, do they have like family units?
Well, typically the mother would take care of it beyond this point, but it's probably the mother might have been killed.
You don't think the mom is just like beyond?
This young is probably would have been accompanied by this probably she got killed. Something else. Gonna kill a panther means it's probably pretty able to kill all of us. Perfectly honest.
Are we up now?
Yeah.
Um.
Also, Alana, can you shift a little bit to the right? Cool. That's it.
Okay. You just have to lean like this now permanently.
And this actually me sitting up straight, I just tend to drift.
I do the same thing. I look at myself in the camera, I'm like all the way.
We're not being watched by anything else now besides this panther.
Make a perception check, and you can use your eye for detail.
Yay!
Now that I wrote one
your
rule out,
nose
Minga's gonna look
powder.
for like a piece of meat or something to give to the panther.
Okay, yeah. From amongst your rations, you're able to pull out like a little bit of dried meat. It doesn't seem super interested in it. It just kind of like paws out a little bit and does give it like a big lick, and that pulls like pieces off, but it doesn't finish it. Doesn't seem super hungry.
13.
13, you look around. You look out beyond Minka, looking for some other kind of animal. You don't see any, but this creature approached you guys. Yeah, you don't really see anything. You are all now awake. You know where this grunt camp probably is. Only about 30 minutes beyond.
What time is it?
We found a panther. It's really cute.
It's about 8 p.m.
Is this thing trained? Or being trained? Like domesticated?
Just by Minka, like, touching it?
No, like, does it seem to have had prior domestication before this
Make an
interaction?
insight check.
That's actually a good call.
Mika, can you speak to animals?
No.
All right.
No.
With the 17, there is an element where, yeah, certainly it seems to be a little bit more comfortable with, humanoids than most wild animals are. It didn't immediately try to, like, attack you guys. It also came in, like, a pretty playful manner. Typically, creatures that are not familiar with people will stay away.
Yeah.
So maybe familiar with humanoids. That seems to make sense.
I mean, I worry that its mother is around somewhere.
The mother's probably dead. This seems to be, well, dead or also someone's pet.
I'm sorry, did you say this thing is somebody's pet?
Came right up to us.
You look over and you can see Minka's twirling this ribbon around, and the creature
might be
now on its
Minka's
back,
pet
and it's
now.
just like going back like this and forth and trying to like swat at it and rolls over one way, and yeah, it's a cat.
Are you gonna keep it?
Considering the amount of terror we have experienced thus far, I'm not sure it's a great environment to raise something.
Also, where's the adult?
Oh,
Well, Ori thinks it's dead.
you're not.
No, if you said that it's somebody's pet,
It's
who's got the adult
Right.
pet?
That's it's probably these are questions that I don't know the answers to. And
Do Grun train panthers?
do grung have I ever encountered a grung with a trained panther?
You haven't encountered a ton of grung in your time. They don't really live in the Magiocracy, but you've certainly
Neither
never
do
encountered
I.
a grung with a trained panther.
Would Billy know this?
Billy, make a intelligence check.
I think the grung that I've met are fucking building walls out of fucking mud and shit. So I don't think they can train a
Billy
panther.
is street smart. You know? Sure, Grung can train panthers because
Sure.
Billy got an 8.
I mean, you can't see why not. You've never seen it, but I mean, panthers, grung, they have hands. People have hands.
I feel
Who
like
knows?
they'd eat them though.
The grung, well,
Which direction did this cat come from?
behind Minka.
I'm gonna send Petal in that
There's just
direction to look around.
The emergency lights.
Out into the darkness and following. There are areas where you can see, like slightly more pressed down grass. Excuse
Each
me.
one of them's a different color.
But as Petal gets about 50 feet away, there's an area where maybe like a little bit more tamped down. This creature seems to have been watching you guys for a little while before deciding to approach.
Aw.
But doesn't find any trace of parents necessarily. Make a perception check. Does Petal get a different kind of perception check, or is it yours?
She's got her own
Okay,
score.
so make one for Petal.
Is the direction the same direction as this cliff
Friend.
that we're like, not the
friend.
cliff, but the large abutment?
No. So this would be coming from the like southeast.
Okay, so still in the general direction that we've been heading,
Correct.
but like off to the
A
sides.
little bit, yeah.
11.
With an 11, I would say you can hear wind in the trees. You can hear owls and frogs, and that's about it.
Well, I mean, I suppose it can follow us if it wants to.
Alright, we're all up, so onward to find this dire croak, yeah?
I suppose so.
Yeah, we can at least approach the camp and see if they shoot at us or anything.
Great.
Why don't I send Petal first? Now that we know where it is.
Can Petal talk?
Yes.
She said hi to us before.
Speak grung?
And she pops
the
out of
ground.
invisibility, and Petal goes, I can definitely talk.
You speak Grung?
I speak common. What languages might Grung speak?
Well, the one that you spoke to in common spoke common.
Yeah.
But you've heard of Grung speaking Grung before.
Okay.
Where you live, there are a lot of Grung. And especially south of where you live, there's a lot of them. So you trade with them from time to time.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't speak the language, but, I've seen enough Grung to know that what's going on when I see him.
Right, well, let's give the old introduction then. Oh.
Okay. And then and Alina's just like, just give her a minute. And how far away do I think this camp is?
It's about a 30-minute walk, so you'd guess roughly like a quarter of a mile. If that means anything.
I'm gonna the horse.
What you could do is you can have Petal out in front, and as you walk towards there, you can have her scud ahead.
All right.
Make a stealth check with Petal.
She has her own stealth score, so
yep.
Okay.
Another advantage. For the rest of you, you begin to walk, and is there anything that you're doing as you approach to prepare for this, or are you waiting for Petal to report back?
Billy's probably going to pull out her sword, of course. And just like
oh, we got a wheel. Thanks, Talon.
Be ready to kill shit.
What was your result?
27.
27. So you all begin to travel, Billy with sword in hand. Anybody else doing anything before?
Keeping an eye out for panthers. Because now I'm just like, oh shit, there are gonna be panthers.
Well, there certainly is one that is following you. And it seems mostly to be following Minka.
Okay.
You can see now kind of like swatting at like elements that are trailing from all the sort of various bits of fabric that you have. It like follows you, swats, and kind of falls on its side to like play with it for a little bit, and then like watches you walk, and then gets back up and chases for a little bit. Billy.
Does Billy's sword does it glow? It doesn't glow, yes?
No.
Okay, thank you.
You begin to move towards this, and with Petal stealthy, you're able to get a pretty good view of this camp. Petal finds there's an area of oaks that grow especially close together, forming almost like a wall. Would some visual perspective be helpful?
Yay!
Yay! That means that we're gonna have really cool, epic conversation with them.
Yes.
I mean, that does seem to be the way that Ori operates.
Oh yeah. Why can't we just have some talk no jutsu?
You almost got it last time. It was close.
That's true. That was impressive.
Talking is a way to not die.
Sometimes.
They can be reasoned with.
Unfortunately for Ori, no matter how true that is, Alina is very racist.
Yeah.
Hi.
We're making it worse for everyone.
Also, yes.
Wow!
Oh, it's so good.
Molly, all right, get this.
Oh, it's so good.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I got this corner. I got this side. All right.
Now's the other side?
Yep.
Excellent.
We're good.
Turning that over to you.
Good.
We're good over here.
And Petal, unlike Ori, seems to have a better eye for detail.
Nobody has a better eye for detail.
Wait, I did not. My eye for detail.
That was fighting
Between
words.
all of you and this camp, seeming to be almost stalking in that direction, peering through, there is a much larger panther.
Oh.
This panther seems to be just staring towards these grung. And with a 27, she's able to get right up to these gates. Can even go inside the camp if she wants. But she's close enough that within one of these structures, hard to tell which, you can hear another kind of this like cat that seems to be almost a little bit in pain. And as that happens, this panther that is kind of stalking on the out, you see the fur bristle, and they get a little bit closer.
So
all of you are currently further back. You guys haven't even gotten here yet. Petal's like pretty far ahead. You see the panther over there on the left, closest to Matt. Behind that patch of grass, it is the panther that is on the battlefield.
So is the panther like chained up or anything?
Right in front of me.
The panther that you can see, no. But you hear another one
In
within
one
the
of
camp.
these buildings.
Okay. So that is our friend. No,
No.
that's a different
Different
panther.
panther.
There's 2 panthers.
So I don't have a
Potentially
miniature
3
panther figurine.
Okay.
Ooh,
okay.
I do have a cat. But that is an adult panther, as
Okay.
sized, as painted.
Okay, and then we hear the growls that we hear that sound like they're in pain are from inside here.
Correct. And so presumably a third panther. This
Okay.
is an Arctic fox, but they'll make it.
Oh, little baby.
A little bit more. A little bit more. As much as you can go. There you go.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Talon in the chat. 3 panthers. Okay, I get it.
You can also see within this space there are many grunt now moving around, a little darker. They've created a campfire in the middle. You can see there's a red grung and an orange grung that are gathered around the fire, kind of talking, and another one kind of almost dozing near. There are green grung near the entrance. There are a few in the watchtower. There are a few further back. Petal kind of zips to and fro, and it's a pretty good view of everything that's happening.
I asked Petal telepathically if she sees any red grungs.
There's one by the campfire. They're talking. I can't really understand what they're saying.
Right. All right. I'm just gonna huddle up the group.
Okay.
And very, very quietly, just kind of describe the layout and that the red grung by the campfire is probably our guy. And then Alina's like, all right, what's our goal here? We don't want to kill everybody, right?
You don't want to kill anyone. What?
Well, I know you don't want to kill anyone, but...
We want to ask the Red Grung the questions. We got to keep them alive.
Oh, okay. So you wanna talk?
Well, we got to talk. We got to find out. We came here to ask them.
All right. Well, what is the plan when they attack us?
We kill all the Grung and then we leave the biggest one alive because the biggest one's probably the bad guy.
The red one, right?
Oh, it's the Red Grung. The slime was red.
Yeah.
The dire crow?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that the red one is
So we
dire
just
crow.
don't kill. You don't have to jump to killing right away. There's plenty of other options.
So will you be taking the lead then on diplomatic relations?
Yeah, but
Again.
there's the panther too. We got to.
Can't you talk to it? Just make it feel better.
Look,
If
you
we have the baby,
deal with the baby.
and if that's one,
There's another one in there, and this is gonna attack them. So we just gotta protect the red one.
we gotta protect the baby.
We gotta protect the baby.
While they're arguing, Billy's trying to watch the camp to see if they overhear arguing.
Make a perception check. You are all now getting closer. However, if you're going to get close enough that you're on this map, make stealth checks, as there is a panther that is watching the front of this.
So that is a 23 for perception.
Okay.
How far away are we at this point?
Up to you. I mean, you can see this. Petal has informed you of where this is, so you can get as close as you want, understanding that as you draw closer, you will draw attention.
I would say Alina wouldn't have started this conversation right on the tree line.
All right. Here's a plan. I'm on a horse. I'm gonna go. You just catch up. I'll create the diversion. It'll catch off guard all the panther and the frogs, the grung. Then, I'll go free the panther's cub, figure out which one is in. You come after. We talk. We save him from the panther.
Wait.
And then
You think? Hold on. You think that the panther
the panther's probably
that the grungs need to be, that the grungs need to be saved from the panther? I thought the panther was tied up or something.
No, there's the.
No, I know that one, but the
How many panthers are there telling?
there's 3. There's 3 panthers. I know.
The panther that's gonna go and probably try to get back his cub.
We have the cub.
To be clear, are we hidden?
There are 2 cubs.
Are we hidden?
Let us be clear.
Wait, I thought this one was an adult. I'm so
Let
One
us be
was
clear.
adult. However, now as you go over, I thought that there is no panther there anymore. You can pull that one off the board. It is currently
Hiding.
You don't know.
Oh.
Would
Right.
Billy have noticed? That was a 23 for the person.
With the 23, you definitely notice that it's gone. It rolled well higher than that.
Can I use my eye for detail to find hidden creatures?
Thank you, Talon.
And the reason that you can do this, though you have already made a perception check, is that Talon gave you a wheel.
Thanks, pal.
Thanks,
So you
Talon.
clear the sleep out of your eyes and try to use your real eye for detail. You were
Like,
just practicing.
things always go better when Talon's in the chat.
Yeah.
Except when when Talon redeems a woe, because Talon is nothing if not a lover of balance.
That's true.
Yeah, that's probably still not good enough because that
Talents.
was a poor roll. That's a 10.
Okay. So Ori, with your eye for detail, not a hidden creature in this forest. They're all really outgoing. You see some owls. You see this little panther cub that's now just kind of like beginning to sleep a little bit on their side.
Aw.
They've been here for like 10 minutes, and so they're kind of getting bored.
I'm gonna go to untie the rope
Okay.
so that I'm no longer latched to the horse.
You sever the unbreakable bond between man and beast.
Sorry, I'm tied.
Okay.
Right.
All right then. So the
I'm
plan
gonna go,
is diplomatic relations. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go. You come.
Billy's
Why
gonna
don't the
start,
rest
like,
of us get set up and
Billy's
hidden?
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Billy's gonna start sneaking to the
Provide the
side.
Okay.
Make a
Chester
stealth
just
check.
kind of appears in the group, like,
Oh, so nice of you to join us, Cheshire.
been here the whole time. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna start bringing the horse forward. I'm gonna take out my flute and start playing the flute
Wait,
as
let
I
us check
stroll
that up first.
slowly.
Okay.
You know, like a slow jaunt, as if I'm just traveling through the
She's
woods.
like, hey, oh. She backs back up.
I'd say 19%.
Okay. Stealth for Billy?
Yes, I am here. Now I am.
Oh shit.
I say as I realize that that's survival. 14.
Okay.
8. Oh wait, are we in a forest?
You are.
I have advantage.
There you go. Make it.
6.
16.
Okay.
Wait, guys, I'm not very still. I glow.
And then before everybody gets too far away, Alina's gonna be like, "Remember, don't touch their skin. It'll make you shit yourself or something."
Ori, you, with your flute out, begin to approach like a Civil War.
No, it's just like strolling through the woods, playing some music, enjoying my stroll.
I think Ori might be the only person that thinks that's a casual, non-threatening.
No, like it's not like a marching song. It's like a nice happy
You're really
tune.
good. Let's find out. Go ahead and make a performance check.
Can we decide like where we're?
Billy's
Yes,
trying
go
to
ahead and
head
place
this
yourself
way.
now. Minka, let me know where
Billy
you
wants
place
to be
yourself.
behind.
I don't know.
Over here.
Yeah.
Minka realizing
One forward.
she's just gonna kind
Do a
of
bush on her face
Yeah,
again.
I think Alina's gonna. Well, Alina likes to hang out here, Billy.
to be behind this bush, but in the process, she's probably also going to be like at the baby panther, she'd be like,
Billy just looks
You
at
need to stay here. You are a baby. We need to keep you safe.
You like try to pull the string away, and you're saying, "Baby," it goes up, and now both of its paws are like on your waist, and it's trying to get at this thing.
oh.
But luckily, there is a bigger distraction, and this is Ori playing their flute through the forest at night into a grun camp.
And it's eerie as fuck because I rolled a 9. So it's just like
Ori, you're really high still, and so in your mind, you're like you clear your. It's like you take your flute out. This is Ron Burgundy. Like you
somehow there's like a little girl's laughter in.
it's Cheshire again.
Add to it.
Minor
You
relief.
got this. You're on it.
So as you first play in your brain, you are playing this beautiful, happy
It's an
melody.
elegy. It's an elegy. Yeah.
But for everybody else, you are hearing firsthand the effects of drugs. This is weirdly slow, offbeat, off rhythm. Somehow, this flute, which is a very simple instrument, is out of tune. But this strange, eerie melody begins to drift through the slightly foggier air here. Very
Billy's kind of into it.
It's kind of a progressive jazz feel.
It's like, oh.
Before anything else happens, Alina's gonna cast Comprehend Languages on herself.
Okay, very nice. So as you cast Comprehend Languages, there is this sort of moment where off in the distance you hear this loud ribbit, and at the very end of this ribbit, you can just hear Jakor. And I don't know anything else about that, but I think you know better than that. And you hear this other person kind of, and then like they turn, and suddenly these two torches light in the watchtower. You can see two Grung leaning out. These two other Grung approach with their spears, and they approach you looking very mistrustful.
Shocking.
Well, hello.
Place yourself wherever you're going to stop. This is probably important.
Where do I notice that they're like approaching
You
me?
see those two green Grung?
Yeah.
They're approaching you.
Okay. I'd
I'm gonna
probably
have
stop right
Scent
about
Petal
here,
like
then.
up here. She's still invisible.
Perfect.
And I am still atop my sweet horse.
Do you need a horse?
Oh, if I've got a horse, then I would
Over here?
take a horse.
You get a whole horse one shot. What do you mean if you have a horse?
There are so many horses in this house.
Shot.
A whole horse. That's
I
a
always forget though, in the
horse.
darkness I can't see anything.
An entire horse.
So instead of horses, I guess.
Excuse me, there was a centaur.
Reindeer. Oh, sweet. That's actually kind of cool.
Because it's unpainted.
Whoa.
I can see it.
Oh, nice. And my horse is canonically a white horse.
There you go.
There you go.
So you, with your flute, ride your horse into this Grung camp. The Grung approach. You can see they look at each other a little bit uncertain.
Gonna get
Just
it.
go next to the horse.
One of them makes this big, as they like look a little bit nervous. That's like their version of taking a big gulp, and they step forward with their spear. What are you doing?
Trying to
I
make
had
my
it.
mini boats.
Say, oh, hello. Yes, sorry. You enjoy the song.
You can see, very nice. He gets a little bit closer, 5 more feet close.
Is friend.
He makes these loud, kind of ribbiting sounds, but for you, being able to comprehend this language, you can hear this Grung just go, "What the fuck are you doing here? Why are you playing a flute in the middle of the forest?"
I was strolling through the woods, just
5 feet closer. He's now about 10 feet away.
Friend.
Are you holding the flute?
Yeah, I've got the flute up.
You can hear the Grung says, "Drop it."
Just a friend.
Alina is gonna just whisper from the bushes, "Drop the flute, drop it."
It's a nice flute. I'll put it in my.
So as you go to like put it in your pocket, that's when you hear this Grung just go, "Get him!" I need everybody to roll.
Oh,
As
you
you're
tried,
like, "Drop my
but
weapons." You mean reach for my pocket?
you tried so hard.
My flute.
I haven't
weapon.
tried kind of hard. I feel like if I was the Grung, I would have lit you up from a distance. But I tried to give you the benefit. That was a natural 20 for the Grung.
Oh, damn.
Anybody
Remind
else
me.
natural 20?
No.
Oh, very much no.
And
Grung
we figured out that
start.
familiars get their own initiative, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh,
All
look
right.
at that. Oh,
25.
Petal got a natural 20.
Hey, there you go. Liz Pell's Dex.
18.
Okay. Petal leading us off.
Oh, yeah.
All right. 25 to 20. Anybody else? 20 to 15.
Fuck.
15 to 10.
14.
14 for Cheshire.
That's sad, guys.
That is sad.
All right. 10 to 5.
9 for Billy.
5 for Alina.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, no.
9, 8, 5. That is Billy. Minka. And Alina. Wait, we're missing somebody. Or what'd you roll?
Natural one.
Or you are baked. And so it's like you're there and you hear all you're really hearing is
I'm putting it away.
and then you hear and then all of a sudden you hear
Oh shit! It
like
just
the
sounds
sound-
like what Chuck. I know that in any language.
Great. I was just saying ribbit. I laughed. But yeah, why not? Chaka. So as you hear this flashback, the grung with the spear, suddenly it's just a goblin then a grung. You're just like slight PTSD. Suddenly, the way that the initiative shakes out, Petal is starting us off, followed by all of the grung, which there's quite a few. Followed by Cheshire, then Billy, then Minka, then Alina, then the passage of time, and then Ori.
With my mount, I use its action to move. I have to look up because
No, you have a movement speed essentially that is equivalent to your mount, so it's going to just simplify things. When you get dismounted, things get more complicated.
Right. Okay.
Not so much with this horse because you're not like trained with this horse. It's not really.
We've become friends.
Friends. Give me 1 second.
I have at least 2 carrots of friendship
10 or
out of 4.
For you, my dear mountain. Parents of friendship.
If we survive this, I will have 3 carrots.
Of friendship.
Alina, what is Petal doing at this moment? As you can hear them just say, "Get him!" Petal is like right around this area of downed logs around the fire. Petal like turning slightly. You can see there are grung around the fire. I would say Petal gets the sense that there's probably some grung in the ruins and also some grung maybe in some of these structures.
Okay, so Petal can't attack because I haven't used a bonus action to tell her to yet. So,
Petal's like, "Oh, I wish I could attack." This would be a great
she's got her
opportunity.
little bows taut, but she's like, "Damn it, nobody told me to." So let's see. I think instead she's gonna fly. She's gonna use her whole action to scope out the rest of the area.
Yeah,
I think
perception.
so. I think if it's okay to do this all in one turn, I'd like her to get a glimpse of the ruins to see whether there's anything in there, and also look in the window of
Make a
the.
perception check.
Yeah. All right.
So this is really Petal kind of using their movement to all the way around to make a big loop while looking into the windows, behind the rocks.
That's indeed what it is. Perception plus 3. So that's dirty 20.
Okay, with a dirty 20. You can go ahead and pull the roofs off those buildings.
Yeah.
Additionally, in the ruins themselves, there seems to be maybe 2 or 3 grung, I believe. They're all out there on the battlefield. Some of them are just hidden in the actual.
Oh, there's a frog there.
Oh yeah, sorry. There's just a giant frog back
Just a
there.
frog.
Not another grung. There is a grung in the actual house back there, and what Petal sees in there is a grung that is a little bit more ornately decorated. This seems to be the one that, of all of them, perhaps carries the most status.
Okay.
They're in a room that is full of chests, boxes, various elements, and it is in here, although I do not have a second panther miniature, where the other panther is as well.
Okay. And is that one an adult? Sorry.
Yes. It is chained as like a shackle around its neck and around its waist, and both of those are anchored into the back wall.
Okay. All right. And then where does Petal kind of wind up? Does she come back?
No, Petal will end up, see that like kind of person-looking stack of rocks? Yeah, in the table, right around there.
Okay.
Perfect.
And that's Petal's turn?
That is Petal's turn. That brings us to the grunt. So, Ori, at this moment, they know that you are here, and that is it.
Yeah.
So, give me 1 second here. So, Ori, first of all,
I am mounted.
oh, good.
And that's not nothing.
So the door opens up, and this very ornately decorated grung comes out. 5, 10, 15, 20.
What color grung is the ornately decorated one?
Orangish.
Very like orange, kind of brown. They are the color that you can see
Oh, okay.
on the map. I bought a grung warband from Whiskins.
Nice.
Thanks, Whiskins.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
It's because I bought it.
Technically, we're sponsoring
All the
them.
roofs.
Right.
So
Cool.
Oh, there's a bunch up there that I didn't even notice.
now the miniatures, they don't necessarily have. The miniatures have bow and arrows, but none of these grungs do. They're all wearing leather armor, really patchworky, and they all have daggers.
Okay, cool.
They pull these out. And Ori, first of all, at disadvantage, you are taking 3 daggers from the grung that are in the watchtower.
Okay.
So the first one.
Oh, they're
is-
throwing them.
Yes, they are.
I see.
The first one, natural 20. and a natural 1 at disadvantage. So
He's
this
about to
grung,
snipe
you
me.
hear,
Just wait.
whoops, and then this grung just whips this knife, and you watch as it just hits right into the little. It like clips the handrail, and then end over end up and into the darkness. We'll get back to that at the end of this turn. The second one, that is a 7 and a natural 1.
Nice.
And so
You're just
almost exactly the same. Back up into the dark, and there are now 2 knives just up in the air.
Wachaka?
The third.
Okay.
Okay, that's better.
I was hoping for a hat trick of natural ones.
No, no, no. That is a 24 to hit.
damn.
Yeah.
That is gonna hit.
All right. Ori, finally, you're like, it's like, they go off into the darkness, and then one just right into your side.
Oh.
It just penetrates your armor, just barely,
Ooh.
as you are only taking 2 points of piercing damage. Plus
Some poison damage.
4 points of poison damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
I'm not great at those.
That's unfortunate.
I've got a weak constitution. I'm lactose intolerant.
Why you could go in the front?
It's a 13.
A 13. So this blue grung, as it fires out at you, this dagger, it just gets into you, and you feel, though it barely hurts, this burning sensation carry into your bloodstream, but you are able to shrug off whatever this effect was going to be, which is good. Your legs feel like you are ready to jump. Now, that being said, that is the 3 up on the watchtower. The 2 who are down here are making attacks at regular.
Can they reach from the saddle?
Yes. They're throwing daggers at you.
Oh, they're throwing them still.
That is a 20 and a 21.
Yeah, those hit. Wow.
You are taking 5 points of piercing damage,
Ow.
plus
Oh my god, I might die.
4 points of piercing damage, plus
Ready?
Oh boy.
No.
Yeah, I might die.
3
already.
points of poison damage,
Okay.
plus 4 points of poison damage.
Oh damn, I am looking about as rough as you can
Make
look.
2 Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh boy.
These green grung, you watch, there's a little bit of poison on the edge of these blades. Each of these grung seem to have used their own poison on their weapons.
Right.
First one was a 17 and the second one is a 5.
Oh no.
These little daggers dig into you, and though they don't hurt individually,
That one
the
tickled.
poison after seeps into you. You begin to get nauseous, but then your skin, you
Oh
feel it
no,
just
I'm turning into
dry.
the ground. Oh.
You need moisture. And so, Ori, on your next turn, you need to use your action and your movement to try to find mud and submerge yourself.
Mud.
Until the end of this poison effect, which you are now poisoned. Go ahead and put this on. You're
Wait,
poisoned
but-
for 1 minute.
If I'm on the okay, can I still use my mount to
No,
or do I
this
have
is like
to
a primal feeling. You almost feel a little grung-like in this moment.
do I have to jump off and look or can I just like ride it?
Yes, you have to do whatever you can do to physically get yourself closer. You are not really in the mindset to be like, well, if I use the hypotenuse at this angle.
So I
You are
can't just be like, yeah,
No,
mud.
This is your brain going, I need mud, and now you are going to find mud. So that is on your next turn. At the end of each of your turns, you can make a save.
Okay.
So that is all the attacks that are in range.
That's cool.
So that is the end of the grung's turn. That brings us to Cheshire.
Casting. Now there's mischief in
There's mischief.
the gateway
Is
there
that a
Okay.
to block as much of a 20-foot cube as I can.
And what does that look like?
There's some sparkles. There's the scent of
Always,
some apple
always.
pie.
Okay. Can you put this in between those 2 little doors?
How did you have that just on hand?
So all of a sudden,
We're just prepped.
Where the
Ready.
2 attacking you are up there.
up here?
all of a sudden, there is this
That's like
brief
this
little
whole area.
burst of music in the air, and the little elements of fog that kind of hang around here as this is a little bit more humid just condense, and all of a sudden they begin to sparkle and glow, and it's almost like there's a disco ball at the middle letting little tiny mirrors and lights out, and you can hear from that to this kind of like as it like becomes a little bit fascinated with this beautiful glowing cloud.
Nice.
All right. Anything else, Cheshire?
Yes, with that one.
Poor Autumn.
The smell of apple pie fills the air, and each creature in the cube must succeed on a wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
Ori, I believe that includes you. So this is a disadvantage.
Is the cube containing me
It's a 20-foot cube.
There's a 20-foot cube.
Yeah.
going this way or this way?
Yeah, including you.
Yeah.
Put me in. I figured you'd put me in
Makes
there.
sense.
What's the DC?
It's not apple pie.
They go for it. It's a 1 and a 2.
It was
Thanks,
a wisdom
Trisha.
save. 16. Meets it, beats it.
No problem. Can you put this in?
Any failures, they're charmed by me until the start there.
Okay. So all of a sudden,
Always charmed
from these
by
two grung, you can hear them just go as they become like almost enamored with this, and you can see their neck just blowing out. And one of them kind of drops the dagger. The other one begins to kind of like touch the mist. They seem a little charmed. That is Cheshire's turn. That brings us to Billy. Minka, you're on deck. Billy.
So Billy can't see Ori anymore, correct? Because he's in this fog.
Correct. At this moment,
Cool.
you see beautiful, like glowing disco ball-like striations through this cloud.
Billy almost feels relieved. It's like, oh good, I don't have to heal him. And then Billy is, oh shit, I would have to go through the fog to get.
You would. Cheshire's an agent of chaos. What do you want to do, Billy?
Billy's gonna have to go through the fog.
There you go. So you dash through the fog. It is, I believe, when you start or end your turn in that effect. And so
Okay,
you
so
can
if
just
I
run
pass through it, I'm good.
realistically, this is you being like, wow, I shouldn't breathe that in. And you run through. You burst from the other side. You can see these grung. Some of them very confused, all of them kind of rushing towards Ori.
All 30 feet.
A big of fog appears, and then Billy runs out. That's very confusing for them.
Billy charges through and kind of just like, and looks around, surveys the scene, and just like, well, fuck. And lets off an Eldritch Blast at the closest blue, the red grung.
Okay.
It's gonna go for the red grung.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your attack.
10. That was. There we go. Oh.
What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't hear us.
That translates to a 9.
A 9. That is a miss, unfortunately. As you cough, what you cough out is essentially a burst of glitter. And as you do, it's kind of hard to see, so your Eldritch Blast just goes straight by this person, maybe a little off to the right, curving, and it hits this pile of rocks right next to Petal. And for Petal, this is like World War II battle. But really, for the rest of you, you see as little like sparks fly off them. No problem. Anything else, Billy?
I really don't want to use my pack spell, but you know, fine. Billy's going to hex the red grung.
Nice. All right. If you could go ahead and put this hex on the red grung.
And he's going to get a disadvantage.
The red
on...
one closest to you, or the fancy red grung? Or sorry, the I believe there's 2 red grung. I'm trying to see where the other one is. The one closest to you, the one in the tower. Sorry.
The one closest to me.
Okay.
And he's going to get disadvantage on wisdom checks.
Okay. So as this hex congeals around him, you can see he had just thrown a knife at Ori and was going to reach for another, but then he starts trying to peel it off of himself. He goes from making these like little croaking noises to now almost these like panicking, like really fast series of clicks. Anything else, Billy?
That's it.
All right, Minka. You see this cloud appear. Many of your friends dash into it. You hear ribbits. What would you like to do?
Well, before the cloud appeared, was Minka able to see Ori get riddled? Absolutely destroyed.
You saw a couple daggers dig into Ori before he just like disappeared into this disco cloud.
I think technically I'm like kind of on the edge here.
You are on the
right?
edge, yeah.
Okay.
Like the horse's butt is sticking out.
Yeah.
I'm on the edge of disco.
It needs to be, and that needs to be line of sight, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You could heal
That's why
the
Billy was
horse.
relieved.
Heal the horse's butt.
What are you doing?
I'm not gonna reach out into a cloud to try to feel the horse's butt.
I said heal it.
I use my action to cop a field.
Well, also you're not supposed to go behind a horse.
Invoke one of her star maps she's gonna invoke the chalice.
Okay.
Apparently, no one can go 5 seconds in any of these battles without immediately dying.
You know, funny
For that
enough,
time, we
there
had
are
a big
not
fight
a
over
lot of
who was gonna be the healer.
constellations in Everest. And
2
of
bards
them,
and a
you know
druid, and
more than
nobody
most
wants to
people.
do it.
And it's a shame.
What the hell, guys? There's just no magic.
So behind Minka, there is this kind of, as these lights appear, and there is now starlight that floods the area. The disco cloud is now like vibrantly lit, and it forms almost like a glowing white wall between these spaces.
So, Mink is now gonna try to use her turn. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She can't quite get there. So, okay. She's gonna use her action to cast guidance on the kitten. And tell the kitten to hide. And then she's gonna move up to see if maybe she can eventually get line of sight on or get close enough to Ori.
Make an animal handling check for free.
Not great. 12.
Okay.
The bond is. Yeah.
The panther goes from laying on its side to up on its like fours, but it stays laying down for the moment.
It does the little like half blink where it's like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I can go one more.
Okay. So you kind of tuck yourself in behind the tree, one hand on the trunk, leaning out. That is your turn, Minka. That brings us to Alina.
Yay. All right.
While you're on deck.
As a bonus action, I'm going to instruct Petal to shoot the ornate grung man.
Okay. Ornate Grung Man.
Yep. And then
OGM.
yep, for short. And then and then I will remind me because Alina would know this. If the hexed guy, you don't have to be the one who kills him, right? To get the benefit of him dying.
Oh, this is like the hex spell. This isn't the hex blades.
Oh, just regular hex. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna shoot an Eldritch Blast at that one.
There you go. So of note, this is through this fog, and so this is pretty obscure. This will be at disadvantage.
Can I step this way until like maybe up in here until I can see?
That's very difficult terrain. You can try. What I'm gonna say is you're gonna have to roll for it, and if you roll poorly, you're gonna end up real tangled up in those bushes.
I
So
don't
remember
want
when
that.
I face planted into
Yeah.
a bush.
I do remember that. It was
Flashback,
not
you're
fun.
about to like start picking your way through, and you're like, wait. And you see Lily, like impaled on the bushes, all tangled up. You're like,
This
wait.
fucking sucks.
All right. Well, beans. I'm just gonna shoot from where I am then.
Alrighty.
Is it? Sorry. So it's basically cover, or do I have like disadvantage? What was it that you said?
It's basically covered.
Okay.
Yeah. Who are you shooting at?
The hexed guy.
Yeah.
All right. 21.
21 hits. It's actually kind of close with the cover. This individual, this is a tough shot, and this is kind of blind. And in your mind, you almost visualize this Eldritch Blast as wider, and rather than like a sort of shaped charge. So that way, it's kind of like a shot in the dark, more of a shotgun blast than like
Yeah.
a pistol shot.
All right. 11 damage.
11 damage. Okay. So this grung through the mist has kind of run out. They threw this dagger, and suddenly shadows congeal around them. And as they start going and try to pull this shadow off, there is a blast of energy that almost knocks them off their feet. Really, with Hex around them, you feel the life force of this creature almost yanked away in one go. But it's still up.
That's my turn.
Alrighty. That is your turn. That brings us to Ori. Ori, at the very end of this initiative, so far down, even the animals and plants have gone.
Where the fuck's the mud at?
The mud goes on initiative 20.
Forgot about the mud.
So actually, in this moment,
Can I use my eye for the tail to seek out mud?
make a perception check.
There better be some fucking mud nearby, 'cause that's...
Roll for mud.
What the fuck is going on with... All of the pages are on top of each other.
That's exciting.
This is weird. It's plus... I think it's plus 4.
Okay, what'd you roll?
So that's a 10.
You did all of that for a 10. Okay. Ori, you look to the left, you look to the right, and though there is, in fact, a pit of mud, maybe like 30 to 40 feet away, you can actually see it as that pit that is covered in like little white flowers. Yeah. You do not see that. What you do see, straight on the other side of that fire, where all the kind of ashes, no, you see the fire, the big orange thing in the middle? Ashes have congealed around there, and where the humidity has kind of soaked up, it has made very sooty mud. And so the closest mud, right on the other side.
How do I see it through the fog?
Because the fire lights it up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice
So
try.
go ahead. You will get off your horse, and you're going to take your full movement to get as close to that mud as you can.
I'm dead.
Sorry, bud. You are?
I'm gonna be
Oh.
when I take like a couple.
As you
Someone sneezes
run
on you.
by,
So dismount
trying
is
to get
half?
to the mud, there's a moment. Yeah. No, not dismount isn't half. That's just getting up or getting down. I believe you can get down for 10 feet of movement. I think.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm thinking of. We got all these rules.
I'll double check. But do it for 10 feet of movement for now.
I'm thinking to get up from prone.
As you run, you look to the right and you see this grunt is like touching this cloud. And for a moment, you look to the right and you feel so desperately dry. And he looks, and there's a moment of understanding. And he just turns back to the cloud. And you do not provoke an attack of opportunity. This creature's turn.
I think I can only get to his space. Unless I can land in this difficult terrain.
You can
if
go-
this counts as difficult terrain.
That's kind of edging into that space. I would say, yeah, you can get to right about there.
Okay, I'm gonna put myself like there.
So no problem. You surge forwards. If you would like, at the end of your turn, go ahead and make a saving throw. Constitution saving.
My turn's not over because I haven't gotten all the way to the mud because I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash.
Very nice. Make yourself 30 feet closer.
Mm-hmm.
15.
I was
Really,
just
do you want an
gonna
attack of
watch-
opportunity?
I was just gonna watch Ori go and be like, what the fuck, man?
Trip him. 1 foot out.
Pretty much get up to the log, or like 5 feet from the log.
Okay. So you get up to the log almost, and you can see glistening on the other side this black mud. It is what will keep the moisture in your skin. It's what's going to keep you from drying
Oh my
out.
god, I better get close to this really warm fire. Natural 20!
And in this moment, this grung next to you is almost blown away by this forced blast, and that snaps you back as you hear this frog like coughing, little bits of like this kind of darkish blood coming off of its lips.
I'm hurt.
You like come to, and you look down, and this grung is going. And like trying to reach for help.
Like,
And,
I
there's
also feel that way.
You feel like shit. You're kind of poisoned, but no problem. That is your turn. And you are no
We
longer.
both feel terrible.
You are no longer poisoned.
Yay. I still feel terrible.
You still. That is the end of your turn. That brings us to the top of the round, and that brings us to Petal, the Grungler next.
As instructed, she's gonna shoot at the ornate grung man, and she's currently invisible, so advantage.
Yes.
Nice.
Hell yeah, that's 24 to hit.
A 24 to hit.
Yep.
So as the explosion of the little rocks makes this like World War II moment for Petal, Petal has to like arch around a tiny little pebble flying over that's like roughly the size of her torso, and then like as she's like clearing it, almost like a Matrix movement, she fires out at this grung. For all of you, it's just like ding, 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 like a tiny little thing that happens, but that does hit.
He takes 1 point of damage,
Damn.
and he.
That's at the ornate grung guy.
Yep. And then
So
I know
Petal, tell us how it happened.
there's more to it. You're kidding.
It's they have 1 hit point left.
You're shitting me.
It's a grung. They have 16 hit points.
Wait, this guy who no one has touched?
Oh no, sorry. I thought you talked about the ornate grung man. He took.
This is the ornate grung man.
He was the one that took the shotgun. Oh no, the other.
No,
they're both-
this guy I
sorry,
hit.
Sorry. From my perspective, they're almost exactly the same.
Okay.
That's pretty
Fair
grung
enough, fair
racist.
Racist.
It's
Okay, and then he needs to make a DC 15 con saving throw.
Okay.
Tell us how it
Oh, that's
happens.
close. I rolled a 14. Okay, that's a failure.
Neat.
Nice.
He's poisoned.
Okay.
Taste of your own medicine, my dude.
Put that on that guy.
Oh, sorry, I have a poisoned thing.
Yeah, it's just
And so as he's like moving over and kind of like trying to get closer to Ori, suddenly from the midst of the air, something stings him from the side.
Yeah.
And you hear him just go, "What the fuck?" And he turns and he's like looking around, looking for something. And then suddenly from invisibility, Petal just, as they made an attack.
And then she's gonna fly away and try to hide.
What do you want it?
She's gonna go into the ruins, just like behind this wall here.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't like when things are in.
Yeah.
Anything else
Yeah,
for
because
Petal?
there's a frog there.
Nope.
Oh boy.
Oops.
There's the wrong turn. Can you move that giant frog 10 feet closer?
That's no. Petal.
It's gonna like. It's like a fly getting eaten.
Cocked.
That's kind of great, actually.
Does a 16 hit?
Yeah.
Shomp.
So this big frog. So Petal first fires, and you can see the grung stumble forward and like, what the heck? And Petal flies back, holding on to the rocks. Their like wings still flapping. They peer around the corner, and they're like, oh, I'm safe. And then they hear, and they turn and look, and this huge frog, roughly 3 feet tall, is pulled up. You see one eye blink, the other eye blink, and then the mouth, and this tongue fires out. That is 4 points of damage.
She's dead.
And Petal,
I feel like it's
dust.
just gets like whomp, thwomp, and then just into the mouth, and there's a little.
And Alina rolls her eyes in annoyance.
Unfortunate decision making. So the rest of the grunt.
Mistakes were made.
That was pretty good.
We need to get you a laser pointer or something. So you can be like,
That's actually not a bad idea.
Here, I have one. It doesn't work terribly well on the felt, unfortunately. I'm just gonna jump over the log.
oh look, they're getting close to Ori.
Oh, I'm dead.
Gunter peers out from behind a tree, like, I'm ready.
They coup de grace me.
They're just hanging out in there. Okay.
They're just gonna come flying in from the sky.
So Ori, or no, sorry, Billy. Where's Alina?
Over here.
Hi.
All right. Billy,
Hello.
unfortunately, at this moment, you were kind of the biggest threat.
I am.
And so at this moment, the two grung that are up in that tower are going to start whipping daggers at you.
You're best.
The first one is a 10.
What happened
Yeah,
to those two that
no.
went flying up?
They're still up there.
Oh wow.
No, when you guys move, there's nothing really for them to go down except the horse, and I'm not making the horse get hit by a natural.
Thank you.
The next one's going to be an 11. Okay. So, right at your feet, these little tiny daggers stick into the mud, and then you hear this little purple grung has gotten down to the bottom. They throw their dagger. That's going to be a 13 to hit. They were all rolling so well for a second.
I bet.
So now...
Wait, a
this-
13?
Yeah.
Need to beat it.
Oh, rough. Okay. So you take
Toughie.
3 points of piercing damage, along with 1 point of poison damage, and make a Constitution saving throw, please, from this purple grung.
Those dice are going back in the pot to cook a little bit longer. 7.
This dagger, as it hits you in the knee, barely hobbles you. You just pull it out and toss it aside, and then you feel the poison begin to seep into your veins. And it doesn't feel necessarily bad, but it does make you hungry.
From mud.
You're poisoned for the next minute. You have a
Human
poison
flesh.
thing, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not
It's on
poisoned.
It's on
Been
there.
holding on to it.
On your next turn, you must find food to eat.
Fuck.
That is
I had such a good turn
that
lined up.
grung. That's unfortunate.
Sorry.
Question.
Yes.
Concentration.
Yes.
Does this affect it?
It did damage, so yeah, you would make a concentration check against that damage. That's pretty hard to fail, though, because it's just a little bit.
I meant more of the must find food.
No, that doesn't affect concentration. Unless
Yeah.
you do something that would break concentration.
It's a 12 for my concentration. check.
Okay. So no problem. You maintain concentration, but you are feeling mighty hungry. The two Grong that are next to Ori, one yellow and one blue, are going to go ahead and take little stabs at you now. Oh, you know what? No. The yellow one, you can see he holds the dagger, he closes his eyes, and you see this big kind of throat thing begin to grow and grow and grow before it begins to vibrate loudly. And I need Billy and Ori to make, I think this is wisdom saving throws. Yeah.
19.
19, very nice.
God damn it. It's a 9.
It's a 9. Billy, as this just kind of buffets across you, it shocks you. This hits you, and it hits the inside of your ear in such a way that all of a sudden it feels like you are massively drunk. Your knees go in different directions. You have to do everything in your capability to keep yourself from falling flat on your back. You are stunned.
You're stunned and
Stacking
hungry.
up those fucking
Or
bonus
you
effects.
are now taking one attack from that blue one. That is going to be an 8 to hit.
That misses, thankfully.
So he swings for you, but he's small. You kind of take up your boot and kind of kick him in the head, keeping him roughly 5 feet away from you. No problem. That is going to bring us to the fancy Grung. It's not his name.
Poison.
The Grung with the headgear.
The poisoned one.
Yes. He is going to turn, and with his dagger, gosh, you guys are far away.
Do I get cover from this log?
Realistically, you know what? He's going to look for Petal because he's curious as to why he just got attacked. So, does Petal get the benefits of comprehend language?
Petal's dead.
She's dead.
Right, she's dead. Yeah.
Petal got
That doesn't mean he can't look for her.
You watch, yeah, but you don't. I mean, from Petal's perspective, you can't hear what he's saying. So he just wanders off into these ruins. He's going to move 20 feet closer to the ruins. You see he's holding the knife over his shoulder, looking for something to throw it at. And there is a moment where he steps around the corner and he's about to throw it, and he just sees this like huge frog. There's like little tiny wings sticking out of its mouth. And,
I'm sorry, Petal.
So that is all of the
I forgot about the frog.
That brings us to Cheshire. Cheshire, what do you want to do?
At the start of my turn, the effect might change of that cube.
Cube effect changes?
I know.
I thought it was just
No, it lingers.
fog.
It
Oh.
lingers and it's got effects.
Just let it linger.
no.
Do you have to let it linger?
Bouquets of flowers appear all around, and each creature in the cube must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be blinded.
I'm glad that I
Until the
left
start of my next
Yeah.
turn.
that
That's
to go
so they're
find
not charmed.
at
nothing.
least you're not
14
in there.
That is a failure for both. So they're
Okay. Are they?
So-
They're no longer
blind. No
charmed.
longer charmed.
So all of a sudden, as they're like reaching out, and there's the one that like let you buy Ori, and he's just like, "Yeah, I know what you need. Go ahead." And he's just
Thanks,
like,
bro.
he's like busy with these lights. All of a sudden, the lights become in their minds flowers, and they look awestruck. They're reaching out, and then right in their face, you can hear for you, especially Alina, you just hear, "Oh God!" And they're just like clawing at their face. They're on the ground. They're like trying to recover. But they're certainly blinded.
The flowers are the color from outer space.
Does the horse also become blinded?
No, the horse at this point is backed up just enough to be like, no, mechanically they're still
Nay.
exactly there,
Oh.
but they were right on the edge, and so they've just kind of backed away from the cloud.
Hashtag save the horse.
The horse, for what it's worth, I rolled for the horse. The horse is unwilling at this moment to abandon Ori, but is not going to go in and save Ori. This horse is like, let's see what happens, let's see what happens.
Also casting healing word on Ori.
Very nice.
Yay.
Can you
That's
see Ori?
helpful.
It's not like a fog or anything. It's just the cube of effect.
Also,
It's not, it doesn't obscure anything.
Oh, I thought
Line
it was
of sight.
Interesting.
There's effects that go in it, but it's
No,
not.
it was
You
obscuring.
create a 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on a point in its area is heavily obscured.
Oh.
So yes, I do know D&D.
Well,
Fog
But
cloud, that fog doesn't cast fog.
that's to the right of the
What did you
line of
cast?
sight.
Snether's
That
mischief.
is mischief.
Oh, right. Sorry. And then you said a fog cloud appears. Then I heard fog cloud.
Well,
Fair
20-foot
enough.
cube you can see within range with Bane and Draconic magic.
Fair enough. Fair
Well,
enough.
rip.
Minka, can you roll a d6?
Fizzbands
please?
has a lot of really
56.
fun spells.
Yeah.
beep pop.
Was that caution?
4
Fizzbands.
That
Fizzbands.
was Fizzband.
Not a sponsor.
this
Or you get
this
8
little
points of health back.
this
8.
little
big.
fancy grung in the back. As they like almost have the showdown with the bullfrog actually whips him with the tongue. Just take 4 points of damage.
Nice.
Just to even out that field.
Nice. Yeah. Fuck you.
Anything else, Cheshire?
Fuck you, fancy grung.
That is Cheshire's turn. That brings us to Billy. Minka, you're on deck. Billy, you are stunned. And so your turn passes very quickly. Go ahead and make a saving throw at the end of your turn.
Which one?
This is for the stun.
And then for the food.
So that's
For
a
the
lot better. I
hunger,
wish I had done that
the
from the start.
grunger.
Because again, had an awesome turn lined up.
Yeah.
This is 22.
Okay.
Save it for
So in this
later.
moment, all of a sudden, the ringing in your ears from this croak dies down, and you shake that from your head. But you're starving. Make another make another saving throw.
I'm fucking starving.
Also Constitution? Yeah.
This is also. I believe this is. Hang on. I'll say the wrong thing now. This is Constitution. Yes.
Well, that is a grand 8.
Okay. You're still fucking hungry, and so your next turn, you are looking for food, and if you can find some, your action is spent eating it.
Or
that
prying it from the dead hands of the one who
is
holds it.
Billy's fantastic turn. Minka, what would you like to do? Elena, you're on deck.
I'm sorry, Kara.
Yes, Billy?
I have a mechanics question.
Yes.
I was gonna save this for off camera, but I might need it. Can I use any slot to cast warlock magic?
You use your highest spell slot automatically as a warlock.
But because I'm also a bard.
If I remember correctly, spells that are tagged as bard spells, you're able to do that with. And I have to go back. The mechanics of that are kind of complex, and so
Right.
we do want to talk about that off camera.
Cool.
However,
For now, I'll just say I've used up my warlock spells.
Yeah.
Cool. Never mind.
Okay, no worries. So that is the end of Cheshire's turn. Billy, what would you like to do?
Oh, that's the end of my
Sorry.
turn.
Ugh. Minka, what would you like to do? Elena, you're on deck.
So, seeing the target of my healing move further away,
There's
as
trends
is
beginning to
tradition,
develop.
I'm going to once again move
ain't
forward. So as 5, so it's 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Minka's gonna move her butt up here now.
Okay, yeah. So you're like, okay, let me use my one really good power to heal everybody close to. Oh, you guys are going away. Okay. And
Yeah.
so you follow them.
So I'm gonna look at Ori and cast Healing Word
Yay!
on Ori because
Yay!
it looked like he was dying.
Hashtag save Ori.
These words caress you, and they are healing.
Yeah. And basically, it's just Minka going,
Idiot.
"Stop running away!"
You hear from like right in front of you, these two grung suddenly go, and they're like looking for something as they cannot see. So they're definitely going to be
Also,
moving
like,
in your
spraying
direction.
flowers, just like dancing around them.
Yeah.
All right, and then so Healing Word is.
I'm imagining it almost like those automatic like card dealers, but it's just firing flower petals at their faces. So less like their
Nice.
eyes are damaged in any way, and more that they just can't see anything.
All right, so that's 5, and then because I cast a healing spell, but
Mhm.
you are too far away for that. 30. Billy is just outside of the range.
Classic.
If you were to look at Billy as far as like healing goes, Billy looks like pretty okay.
Heal
She's
the
just
ground.
looking around, looking
Yeah.
pretty aggressively at the surroundings.
See, I realize this, but this
Not
happens
unusual for
regardless. So,
Oh, I
and
see.
someone is just whoever's closer and
I
was
see.
in range to target.
Hmm.
Everyone's okay, right? I don't think anyone's really been hit by anything. Like,
I mean,
that's
just
just
worry.
nearby.
He's too far.
I'm at full, and I'm probably the closest one to
Anything
you.
else, Minka?
The healing effect is gonna go to the horse.
Yay!
There's no one else to take it, and
this
Minka doesn't
horse-
want it to go to complete waste. Max healing. Nice.
Yay!
So, interestingly, as your celestial magic
freed me.
buffets this horse, suddenly Jeff Goldblum crawls out of this horse's mouth. No.
Sorry, Adam.
So, in this moment, as the healing light washes across this horse makes up its mind. it's going to help Ori.
Yay!
So for what it's worth, that seems to be. I rolled for it, and that was a natural 20.
Now
So,
I named the horse in my head, but now I want to name him Jeff Goldblum.
Yes, you healed 5. The horse healed 12. And then because there's nothing else that she could do, Minka is just going to prepare a shocking grasp in case anyone gets within melee range.
Alrighty.
Otherwise, that's it.
So, Alina, from your perspective, you see Minka run up right to this gate, right at the edge of this weird flower-shooting cloud, and begin to cast healing spells across the horse and other people. What do you want to do?
Well, see, metagaming, I'm like, oh, waste an Eldritch Blast on the guy with 1 hit point left. But Alina doesn't know he only has 1 hit point, so she's going to shoot the hexed guy
There
again.
you go. Make an attack roll.
Natural 20.
Such
a fucking waste.
So in this moment, like as you get close, you can see this individual. He looks hurt, but as the fire flickers in this chaos of battle, he stands up, using his knife to like draw himself up to full height on the log next to him. And as the fire flickers, he looks threatening. And in this moment, it's almost a primal urge to stay safe. You hold out your hand, and it is the largest Eldritch Blast that you've ever seen. You hear in the distance these horns that you've always imagined almost faintly at the periphery of your sound. And then there was a grung, and there is just nothing. The grung is blasted back almost 15 feet before hitting the ground and like scraping hard enough on the grass to leave elements of their skin behind.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna take advantage of that, and I'm gonna walk over here, and I'm gonna yell out, all of you are next if you don't lay down your arms.
Make an intimidation check. Now, worth noting, comprehend languages allows you to understand them.
Right. No, I'm aware, but might as well try.
Yeah.
Oh no. 6.
Something yelling that just fucking used your friend as an eraser is like...
Okay, so you can do that.
Yep.
Anything else, Alina?
Nope. I'm just...
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Ori, what would you like to do? You feel healing sink into you. You watch as all of a sudden from like off in the distance, Alina just erases a grung right next to you. You're like about to attack it. It's looking feeble and hurt. You almost feel bad for it. And then it's like that, I don't feel so good, Mr. Starkin. It becomes almost nothing. What do you want to do?
I'm so sorry, little grung.
Bonus action disengage, get over this log, go behind the fire here.
Okay.
Backflip.
I'm going to take out my oil flask and fill my mouth with some oil and ready in action to flamethrower anyone in this grung area that tries to hop and go after me.
So you jump over this log. Worth noting that will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Bonus action to disengage.
Bonus action disengage. Great. No problem. You jump over. The grung sticks out their dagger, and you parry it with your bow, kind of jumping over the top, and you slide through the sooty mud onto the other side of the fire.
Oh, I feel so refreshed.
You're like, wow, great mud. Oh, you just drink a bunch of oil. And
I don't drink it, I just hold it in my mouth.
But you get ready to create a flamethrower. Very ill-advised.
So cool,
Kids,
though.
do not try this at home.
Rule of cool.
That is your turn, holding your action. That brings us to the top of the round. Petal.
She's dead.
She is dead. That brings us to the grung. So, the 2 grung up in the tower are going to hurl daggers at Billy.
Of course.
Billy, that is going to be a 13 to hit
1 hit, yeah.
and a 22 to hit.
Also, yes.
So you are taking 5 points of piercing damage plus 3 points of poison damage. You are taking an additional 3 points of piercing damage and 4 more points of poison damage. Go ahead and make 2 Constitution saving throws.
All right, so the first one was a 12, and the second one was a 13.
Okay. Meets it, beats it, and a 13 beats it, so no problem. Though you do feel the poison sink into your blood, you're able to push through these effects no problem. You've been poisoned worse. In fact, probably last night. That is the 2 grung up there. The 2 grung who are at the bottom and blinded, they heard Minka, And that is probably no. You know what? They heard Alina
me,
most
Alina,
last, and so they're going to charge off in that direction.
Could I use my reaction with the poison condition still on me?
Can you what?
Can I use my reaction with that must look for food condition?
No,
Okay.
unfortunately. It specifically states action. This is the new Monsters of the Multiverse, like cool little side text effects. But they run in the polar opposite direction. You watch as they run in the direction of Matt Player. One of them runs and just face plants in the difficult terrain of the bushes right in front of him. The other one, hearing that, kind of wises up and veers off to the right. They end up right next to Billy. And Billy, you watch as they take the knife, they have a big smile on their face, and they go, and they throw the dagger and just off into the watchtower, kind of sticking into the wood. But they're blind. There's still flower petals firing into their face every second.
Billy watches them go by and is like, those legs look good.
And then Billy, from behind you, 2 Grun are going to attack. First, the yellow one. That is going to be a 9 to hit.
Nope.
The other blue one, that is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yes.
That is going to be 3 points of piercing damage and 2 points of poison damage. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Natural 20.
Oh, very nice. You feel your
When it
muscles
doesn't
tense
matter.
up. You feel as if the poison does take some kind of effect, but you resist the urge to jump and climb. That is those 2. The final, I think that's all the Grung. Oh no, we got 1 Grung left. He turns around, kind of holding his eye from where this frog licked it, and then wheeling around, looks. There is almost nobody in his sight range, and then he settles on Ori by the fire. He is going to run 25 feet towards you, Ori. You can see he has his dagger held high. No. Over towards the ruins. You can't really see him, I don't think, because he's right on the other side. Yeah.
Fancy frog.
Sweet. So 1, 2, 3. So he's like.
Yeah. And so you could see he's running. He takes the dagger and he's going to hurl it. He's at disadvantage. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
Meets it, beats it.
Nice.
He's not in range of my makeshift flamethrower, right?
You have not used a makeshift flamethrower very often. You don't know. You could be. That is going to be 2 points of piercing damage, along with 3 points of poison damage. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw, please.
So 5 points total.
Yeah.
And then con save.
All of our hard work.
Nice. 19.
19. So as this throws the dagger at you and you feel it sink in, these various emotions begin to kind of bubble up and then they die
It's
down.
over at the mud again. Stay focused.
Yeah, stay focused. I don't love that mud. It's just a friend. The poison does not take hold on you. You are not charmed by the mud. That is all of the Grung. That brings us to Cheshire, followed by Billy.
I can move the cube up to 10 feet.
10 feet, okay.
And I'm going to try to keep it more or less centered on my little froggy friend.
Okay, so the cube just shifts over slightly, and this Grung that was like just fell on its face, suddenly the eyes are clear, no flower petals, right back into its face as it shifts over.
And I need to make a wisdom saving throw.
They will. Oh, they actually might. That is a 19 and a 10.
The 19 will, the 10 will not.
Okay.
Damn it. The smell of apple pie is back, and the one who failed is charmed again.
On his back now, reaching up to this
I know, I'm
beautiful
sorry.
glowing cloud. Anything else, Cheshire?
No, that's it.
Alrighty, Billy, what do you want to do?
Food!
You look around, and you see, over on a table by the fire, a keg. You don't see food necessarily around, although there are Grung, and if you choose to...
That's a keg, and keg is beer, and beer means drinkable food.
Yeah, so you can run over to the keg if you want.
Mario's here.
Yeah, I can hear him. He makes himself
Nothing
known.
gotta tell you.
Yeah, Billy's gonna attempt to leap over the log.
Yeah, no problem. Make an acrobatics check, please.
God damn it!
Directly into the fire.
Oh,
Better than that.
Oh no.
No, it's a natural
Ooh,
one.
way better than that.
Oh no.
Aw, man. Anytime he disappears the curtain, it's never good for us.
Hey, Oreo. Right into this keg. And the keg bites you.
That's a mimic.
What the?
You may have noticed that there were no growing near that keg. And there was a reason for that. They were staying at least 10 feet away.
Mimics.
As a reaction, it will get its attack against you. It is a bite attack. However, that is only going to be a 12 to hit. And so, Billy, you like hit the mud and slide, hitting the table. The keg rocks and then turns. And you watch as the wood splits open into a mouth. And as the tongue lashes out, you just roll to the side.
Would that provoke my ready to action?
Yeah, I would say that this counts as an enemy now as you watch the keg come to life.
Cool, and it's probably flammable because it's a wooden fucking
sorry,
thing.
Billy.
So I'm going to use my flamethrower.
Go ahead.
Mouth flamethrower
Roll attack. And actually, you know what? I'm going to say this isn't an attack roll. This is definitely a dex save. So, Billy, go ahead and make a dex save. This mimic
like
is going to make it, and they are.
I imagine it's like the equivalent of
If this
Dragonborn's fire
asshole
breath.
kills me, Alina, please kill him back.
A smaller ranged fire breath.
Say a dex save?
Yeah.
That is... Oh, I haven't been remembering to take the saving throw section. Oh, well, it's a 13.
A 13? That is just enough. And so as Ori is like, you hear from the other side, and as you look over, you see the cheeks bulging, this little bit of like rainbowy liquid coming down, and you're like, oh shit. You've seen people try. In fact, you've probably seen Alina try to do this. So you roll to the side, and at that very moment, this flame billows across. It catches into this mimic who rolled a 10, which is, I put 12 as a kind of arbitrary DC. So that is a failure. I'm going to say, based on create bonfire, go ahead and roll 3d6.
Nice.
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 Nice. 9.
9. Okay. Interestingly, this mimic, almost with a body formed of wood, seems to be particularly susceptible to this. And so it seems to do more damage as it begins to shriek out as the wood begins to crack and burn. The metal, not true metal, begins to boil and pop and bleed. The mimic is looking really rough. That's a tremendous amount of damage.
Well done.
Nice. I didn't get you roast grung yet, but got some roast mimic.
That, and actually, just type mimic, 'cause- ooh, wow, natural 20 for initiative for the mimic. So we'll just slot in for Pep. That is Billy's turn. That brings us. Oh, make a Constitution
I was
saving
gonna say,
throw.
can I get a save? Please, dear God, can I get a save? I just want my other actions back. God damn it! This
What
is
was it?
7.
A 7.
You gotta get some
Unfortunately, you
food.
look around. This is mud. This isn't food. And that mimic, that's not beer. You look around for more food. That is your turn, Billy. That brings us to Minka. Alina, you're on deck.
I'll get you some roast grung too.
Everyone keeps moving further and further
You
away.
just specifically told them to not move, too.
Billy's just
I
hungry.
move 35 feet closer to everyone else.
Okay.
1, 2.
Billy, or sorry, not Billy. Alina, as Minka rushes by you, you can hear her like mumbling something that sounds kind of annoyed.
Yeah.
About 10 feet behind, on all fours, this little panther is like following Minka and staying further and further back, but definitely following.
Little panther, no.
Their ears are down. In their mind, they're hidden. I know, it's upsetting. So, that is Minka getting closer. Anything else, Minka?
So Minka is going to. Can she assess the state of Ori at this point?
I would say without really on the other side of the fire with this huge gout of flame, probably not.
It probably looks pretty cool though.
You look over and you're like, wow, I says Ori's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. So the red grung was the grung we're supposed to leave alive.
In theory.
Well,
Not anymore.
I do not see a red grung.
Oh.
There's a little bit of like a smudge on the ground.
Yeah.
That's a
We,
little
we assumed that the red one was Deep, whatever his name is, but
Dire Croak.
thank you.
Deep
All right.
Croak.
So
Croak.
absorbing this information, she's just going to just basically be like, I don't. What? Ori, Ori, still don't die. Try a healing word again.
Is Deep Croak gonna tell us to get these papers to Jack Frost?
Oh, okay. So that's 8 points of healing for you, Ori, and then because the next closest person. Billy is within range. Oh, max
Billy's
healing!
like,
Congratulations,
nice.
you get 12 points back.
Billy's like vomiting up blood, and you're like, I heal Ori.
It's like, I know I'm an asshole.
Really?
I know.
You are like on the ground, covered in like sooty mud. There's this mimic like lashing out at you, and you look over and you just see this healing light drift over your head and sink into Ori, who you just saw ride with a flute on a horse into this battle. So that's who Minka is prioritizing. Just as a heads up.
I also just flamethrowered the shit out of
Anything else,
that
Minka?
Pretty cool.
Listen, both of them got healed. She can't do anything else, so she's just gonna
There you go.
prep herself mentally.
Okay. Free action, mental preparations.
Yeah.
Alina, what would you like to do, or you're on deck?
All right, I'm gonna come around here to stand in front of the cat. If I were to want to try to pick the cat up, would that be a free action?
So interesting that you said that. As you walk by, make a athletics check, because suddenly this cat just playfully grabs onto your leg.
No.
But it being so large, it's enough to slow your movement for sure.
Okay. 10.
10? That is enough where if you wish, you can absolutely pick it up. As it is grabbing you, you can kind of use the momentum to just scoop it up into your arm.
I scoop it up in one arm, and then with the other, I cast Hex on the mimic.
Okay. Put that on the minute.
And then let's go ahead and do a little blasty blast.
Yeah, do a little blasty blast.
I
Make your
will.
attack roll.
I'm gonna.
Of the Eldritch
Say I won't.
variety?
Yes. No, I have a bazooka.
Let's do another blast.
It's essentially been a bazooka so far.
Yeah, right.
Like a death ray.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
23.
23, yeah, roll damage for that. You cast Hex, and as you do, it becomes almost this like circle of shadows. And as it sinks around the mimic, you fire the Hexblade's curse through this orb of hexes.
It's the circle of shadow.
13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. Again, this is like a shotgun of a shotgun of force damage that just blows this entire mimic away. As it was about to like open the mouth, you have drool dripping down on you, Billy. Suddenly, the whole thing is just blasted off to the side. Elements of wood hit the fallen log right behind you, Ori, and you watch as the wood just becomes flesh. That creature is dead.
Nice. All
Anything
right.
else?
I'm just gonna snuggle the kitty.
Just kind of like bats at your face a little bit.
Free
Soft
action
paws.
snuggle.
That is your turn, Alina. Ori, what would you like to do?
What did I get a general range of my fire breath?
I would say, without trying to make it longer, it seems to be about 10 feet.
Okay. I want to try to reposition and precision fire at this guy, which is, I think, 15 feet from the fire, so
Okay.
20 feet from me.
No problem. So this time,
kinda like,
you think about everything
like-
that you just did.
Person my lips a bit, making it like a jet stream
Yeah, absolutely.
napalm shot rather than the burst that I just did.
What I'm going to say is I'm going to change that DC then, so it's going to be lower.
Nice.
And as you like kind of take this big mouthful of oil and you're going to precision fire it out, it is only going to affect this Grung. That is going to be a 14, and then it's going to be a success.
Okay.
So they kind of see this coming, and they're on the other side of the log. They just duck down. The fire washes across. The little Grung head pops back up. They're fine.
I probably should have bonus action steady aimed.
That would have
before
really
that.
helped. Yeah, advantage is great. Well, I mean, it wouldn't have really helped that much, but neither here nor there.
All right. Well, then I think I will use my bonus action to
Come back. Be good.
make an insight check against this one.
Okay.
And it's against its deception check.
Okay. This is your insightful fighting.
Yes.
Okay.
That's gonna be 19, I believe.
6.
Cool. So now I can make sneak attacks without having to have advantage on him.
Awesome. So as you look at him, you see he is overwhelmed. Many of his friends have died. The kind of cool mimic that they had somehow obtained and kept in this place to like keep them safe as a last resort just got exploded across this campfire. Things are looking pretty rough. And so as the eyes look around, easy to get a sneak attack on this creature right now.
Okay.
That is your turn, Ori?
I'm then going to use my movement to boop, boop, boop.
Oh, 3 boops.
Boop, boop,
Oh.
boop.
Okay.
To try to get in like a, work my way towards flanking around this grung.
Okay, no
That's
problem.
hella boobs.
You leap over that fallen log, take a couple more steps, and end up right next to this table. That is your turn, Ori. That brings us to the top of the round. Petal is dead. The Mimic is dead. That brings us to the Grung. The Grung in the Watchtower. Everybody's getting kind of out of their range. So if you could take the 2 Grung in the Watchtower and move them down to the bottom, that is going to be their movement for this turn. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Actually, Minka, they're going to just lob some daggers at you, because why not?
Valid.
First one is going to be a 14 to hit.
Does not hit.
Second one is going to be a 15 to hit.
Does not hit.
Alrighty. So throwing these daggers, they can't seem to locate you in the kind of glowing celestial orb that is your sort of chalice form, but no problem. That is those 2. The 2 who are down kind of amongst this tasty smelling cloud are
There's
just going to...
third down at the bottom here.
There's a little purple.
Oh,
down
right,
there.
the purple one. So that is also going to take a throw at you, Minka.
Go for it.
That is going to be a 7. And so though they are at the bottom, you don't even see as they like throw the dagger and it just catches on their finger and right into the dirt. The one that is on the other side of the log that you just breathed fire at, Ori, is going to throw a dagger at you. Kind of see you running away. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
Meets it, beats it.
Beats it.
Damn.
That is going to be a 2 points of piercing damage, 2 points
Con
of poison
save.
damage, and a con save, yeah.
17?
17, you succeed. That
Nice.
mud, not quite as attractive as it used to be.
Yeah.
That is that yellow
already had my
grung. The
fill.
only grung that I got. Oh no, I got a blue guy left. He is going to take 5 feet of movement to get right next to Minka, and he just goes, boom, stabs you in the leg with the knife, or he tries to. He rolls a 7. And so as he gets close, he just trips and stabs the ground. Gets back up to his feet. The final grunt is this red grunt. And kind of panicked, he does see you going over to the side there, Ori. And so as a last ditch sort of effort here, he's going to run up to you. Go ahead and make an athletics check. He's going to grapple you.
This one?
Yeah. He is rolling at disadvantage as he is not doing super great.
This is dex check or dex save?
No, this is an athletics check.
Oh,
He's
athletics.
attempting to grapple you.
My apologies. He probably does because that's a 4.
Okay. With a 7, he defeats you. He gets closer to you. You guys are both in rough shape. And so this is like, you're both on the ground, like punching each other from the dirt. It's not going great for
Really just kind of like hugging each other, being like, man, that mud.
He's poisoned, just as a reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he's at
Oh, okay,
disadvantage.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
As he is grappling you, go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. Make this a disadvantage, and until you break contact, you'll be making this at the beginning of each of your turns.
Oh. That's going to be a 10.
A 10, that is a success.
Oh.
So, oh no, sorry, that is a failure. 12,
Oh.
DC 12.
Damn.
This is the red one.
It's the orange,
Oh, no,
amber
it's the
one.
Orange one, man. Okay.
Thankfully.
So, that mud,
It's not the devil.
all of a sudden, how could you have forgotten?
Oh,
You need mud. You need to get that moisture.
I'm like hugging him and I'm like,
But you can feel he's beginning to move as if he's going to try to squirt under your legs and keep running now that you're going for the mud.
I don't like that as an action.
That is
Free action
his
squirt.
turn.
No, thank you.
That brings us to Cheshire.
Going to move the cube 10 feet as much to get
keep-
all the
Yeah,
ground.
so it's right in between both of them right now. Right between all three, actually, you can get it.
And that is... Each creature in the cube must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or begin giggling until the start of my next turn.
What do
Giggling creatures
giggling
incapacitated
groans
uses all
sound
its
like?
movement to move in a random direction.
That's the name of my heavy metal band.
Giggling groans.
They all
So, no problem. The three grung that are suddenly covered by this cloud, you can hear a ribbit, and then a ribbit, and then like rapid fire, almost like when you're at like a pond at night, just croaks and croaks and croaks. And for anybody watching, there are three like just on their sides, laughing, slapping their knees, daggers in the ground. Just like yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like. Well done, Matt.
Thanks.
That is Cheshire's turn. That brings us to Billy.
Who looks tasty?
Well, as you look around, I would argue.
Who looks like a snack?
I would argue.
Or is a snack.
Would Billy consider a grung food?
When prepared properly.
There is a fire and there is a grung right on the other side of this encampment.
Roasty toasty.
What would you
grung.
have me do in order to go and prepare this grung?
Make an athletics check versus this grung to attempt to grapple it, and then maybe a second athletics check to attempt to stick it in the fire. Ooh.
I mean, I guess it's good in this case because that's a 1.
Okay, so as you reach over, this grung just under the tree, under this log, it presses itself into the little like area between the ground, and you're not able to grab at him.
Obviously still
Although
raw.
you said, was that a natural one?
That was.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. Your hand brushes the grung,
God damn it!
just enough to touch the slime on its skin.
Just like
I'm just making, like-
stacked effects.
It's just getting stuck in my cork here.
You can roll in here if you want.
There was a real, truly bad situation that you guys could have gotten into where if you had negotiated your way into the middle, you could have gotten the ribbit effect from all of them, and that is a real shit stack. But yes, Billy.
It's an 11.
Billy, you're hungry and dry. Your skin just cracking. You feel
Good
as
thing
if
you're
the
right next
moisture
to
has
some
been sucked
sweet
out.
mud.
You need to get into this mud, and luckily, it is all around you.
Billy just swallows in the mud and thinks that some cultures mud is food.
You free action drop to the ground, but you can't bring yourself to eat to the mud. That.
Can I make another con throw for the other poison?
Yes, you can actually.
Just
a
want to be less
sequence of
poisoned.
con
No, they're two
saves.
separate poisons, so you do get a save against each.
Thank God, that's a 16.
You open your mouth, like in some cultures, but then you can push the hunger aside for a moment because of how dry you feel. You just priorities. So no
First
problem,
get
Billy. That is your
wet.
turn, Minka. You watch as Billy flops in the mud. What would you like to do?
At this point, because just there's so much happening. This has been such a strange adventure every day with these people, and she's just gonna like, I don't
Minka, can you make it rain? I'm so dry.
know.
So dry.
She's just gonna guiding bolt the freaking yellow guy, because everyone keeps missing him, so she's gonna guiding bolt him.
You got it?
It's a 17.
17 hits, yeah.
Okay.
So you say, Minka, can you make it rain? I'm so dry. And suddenly you see this glow, and it gets brighter, not just the celestial glow, but this
Yay!
brilliant white, and then it streaks across the back. It's so dry.
Minka is not intentionally disappointing Billy at every turn, but it seems to be happening.
Billy is not hard to disappoint, in
a
fairness.
lifestyle.
Oh, that is so many 5s.
Oh no. 17.
Preemptively.
So you can see he like is pushed into the crevice of this
Multicolored
log
skid
in the
marks on
mud.
the ground.
Billy just tried to grab him and he dodged out of the way. And so in this moment, more than any other grung, he looks like a frog on all fours, like legs up around him. He looks, and the guiding bolt makes him like brighter and brighter and brighter. And you watch as the skin becomes bone and then like just evaporates away. And this is the Kamehameha just erasing this.
It's over 9,000!
Flesh and like little elements of bone that are left. He is real dead.
Oh, this battle is ridiculous.
Anything else, Minka?
One of our weirder ones for sure. Okay, this is just going to be a general question.
Yeah.
Would it be possible to grab the grung without grabbing its skin?
Yeah, it would be hard because they're wearing just like little mismatched bits of leather, and almost like they understand that they don't want to be grabbed, and so they want to have like the shoulders, the arms, the things that you would grab all exposed.
Okay.
But you could, yes.
All right. Minga's going to attempt to shocking grasp the grung that has stabbed her without touching its skin.
Make an attack roll and make it at disadvantage.
That's what I figured. All right. I touched its skin. I definitely touched its skin.
Your Constitution saving throw.
100%. Oh no. That's a 4.
Okay, so you reach out, and as you're about to try to like grab this grung and use shocking grasp, you slip in the mud a little bit, and he's going to like reach for his dagger, and you high five him. And in that moment, suddenly your legs tense, and you recognize, first of all, you are poisoned. So go ahead, here's a little ring for you.
Guys, is this how we die? Do we just die looking for mud?
You can only
The next session starts with
jump
Kirsten assembling a new
and
team. Like, I've made mistakes.
Cheshire will be there and he's like, this one survived. This one amuses me.
elements of your legs begin to tense. You feel very grung-like. Anything else?
Cheshire is like some sort
I think
of
she's
weird
just gonna
archfey.
like
just using us for
just-
amusement.
high five the wrong big. Oh no, and then that's it.
No problem. That is your turn, Minka. Alina, from your perspective, you watch as Billy goes face first into the mud, and as she asks for help
pleased
from
about it.
Minka, Minka doesn't, and instead high fives a grung. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna hex the one that she high-fived.
Okay.
Or move, rather, bonus action to move it there, and then Eldritch Blast. Just rolling my eyes.
Oh my god. So Minka, you high five the grung, and as you do, it's like these shadows that are cast from your bright light just go from your hand around the grung, and the grung is like, what's going on? Go ahead and make your attack roll.
15.
15 hits.
All right. 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. Perfect. The hex crawls across it, clinging onto this grung, and while you are still touching, still mid-high five, the Eldritch Blast rips the arm out of the socket as the whole body swirls around, making like a spiral of blood, and for just a second longer, you're high-fiving by virtue of the suction cups on the end of the grung's hand, before it just pops off and falls to the ground. This grung is very dead.
And then as a free action, Alina's going to be like, I thought we agreed not to touch them, Minka.
Anything else, Alina? She's like
I'm still holding a cat.
Yeah. That is your turn, Alina. Ori, everything that just happened, you see. That's all just happening, but you're dry. Dry. What do you want to do?
Am I still being grappled, or did it release me from
It released you at the end because you get the sense it did that to get you away from it, and it's going to run.
Okay. Well, good, because I'm going to run towards that sweet, sweet mud.
You see Billy rolling around in that dope mud. Billy's got the right idea. You run over and just... Billy, from your perspective, you turn and you watch as Ori backflops in and slides like 3 inches
Muddy
to the
angel.
side of the mud.
I want to be wet.
That is your turn.
And
Do
then
you
I
feel
make a save.
moisturized?
At the end of your turn, go ahead and make a save.
Not yet.
You're getting there, but man, you really need this moisture. You watch as Ori begins to like smear it on their skin. It's in their hair.
pure.
No.
That's awful. That brings us to the top of the round. Petal is dead. Mimic is dead. That brings us to the grung. So, oh boy, the 3 grung at the base of the tower are going to run over to Minka.
Stop poisoning us.
And Minka,
Well, they have, what, 20 feet?
yeah, 25 feet. The big frog is 20 feet. But those 3, they run over to you, Minka. 2 of them are going to stab you with their knives. Actually,
Throw.
no. The first one is going to, I believe there is one who is...
There's an amber, blue,
So
and
the
purple.
amber one, no, the blue one, because this poison's the most boring. Instead of using the dagger, you watch as this thing gets big, and then begins to vibrate. Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm good at these.
You jinxed it.
11.
Good to see you on occasion.
But Minka, as your hand freezes in the air and this grung is annihilated in front of you, at first
Can you
you think
adore
it's
me?
like a little bit of shock, but then you realize it's something more. You are stunned. And so you sit here and like Alina goes, we said not to touch them, and you could do nothing but stare Alina in the eyes and hold your hand out. So, that's happening. The other two, while you are now stunned, now are going to throw their knives at you. And this is now going to be a little easier. Okay. Does a 17 hit?
Yep.
Okay. And does a 23 hit?
Yep.
That is going to be 3 points of piercing damage plus 1 point of poison damage. And 4 points of piercing damage plus 3 points of poison damage.
It
And
just
you
keeps
can make
going.
2 Constitution saving throws, please.
New party. Everyone go.
TPK from Grungs.
This is
Hey.
like, at least we made it 5 sessions in instead of the goblin attack
Yeah, that's
that
true.
first time.
10.
10. Okay.
And oh, that one was good. 19. A 10 and 19.
A 10 and a 19.
Running, blasting until it was done.
Yeah,
TPK
pretty
except
much.
for
The
Alina.
red, as it throws in,
Right.
the poison seems almost stronger than before. You are charmed. In addition, well, sorry, you're poisoned, and that poison is sort of like the link to your charm. It's one and the same. That poison is you being charmed. And the effect of the poison, you feel your heart beat a little harder. And then this almost rage seemed to build. You told these motherfuckers to stay close. They're your enemies now.
No.
And so until you save off this poison, you're just like, your friends are hostile. And
Right.
you must move to attack them.
Hostile is maybe a generous word.
Two of us are just
Two of
laying
them are
in
wallowing in the mud.
I believe
One of them
only
is
other
holding a
grub
cat.
is the one who is now beginning to make their dash away. They're going to move 50 whole feet. First, so no. You know what? They're going to take 25 feet to the door.
This is 20.
No,
Here?
the door.
to
Yeah.
that door.
They're going to open the door and they're going to take 10 more feet of movement to run in. You hear as they open the chest, and then they're going to emerge at the door with their final bit of movement. So they're stopping for something. That is the Grung's turn. That brings us to Cheshire, who will delay for a moment. Billy, what would you like to do? Minka, you're on deck.
Wallow.
You roll and roll in this mud.
Like a little
Go
hippo.
ahead and make a saving throw at the end of your turn.
You still dry? I'm so dry.
15.
15. You're no longer dry.
Hey.
You have finally reached a saturation level where your skin is no longer itching and peeling.
Are you dry?
Is that my whole turn?
That is at the end of your turn. You make that.
Sorry.
So Billy, that is your turn.
You're not
Brings
dry
us to
anymore.
Minka.
Start rubbing some
Minka,
on me.
That is your turn. I'm
so dry.
Your turn.
I need to jump.
You are stunned, and so you cannot jump. Your legs want to. Your muscles
jump,
burn,
but I am
but you can't
stunned.
jump.
I need to jump, and I'm so angry.
Yeah. Go ahead. First of all, make a saving throw against the stun. This is a con save.
6.
You are still stunned. Now, go ahead and make a save against being mad.
Oh, 15.
As you are forced to stay in place, you no longer feel the urge to kill your friends. Maybe that was an overreaction. You take a deep breath.
How about the one to jump?
Go ahead and make a final Constitution saving throw.
17.
You relax your legs. You know what? You don't need to kill your friends. You don't need to jump. You just need to relax for a
I
second.
just need to chill.
No problem, Mika. That is your turn. That brings us to Alina. Alina, you watch. Mika's just holding that high five up, mocking you. What would you like to do?
You know, from across the battlefield, did I see this guy?
Yes, you saw him like open the door.
All right. That dude is pissing me off.
Yeah.
He's like about to turn tail and run. Not cool, dude. So I'm gonna hex him and Eldritch Blast, which Eldritch Blast has a quite long range, so it should be all right, right?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, 15?
15 would be a hit. Hang on.
if I'm not close enough, I'll move up.
No, you're close enough.
All right.
You are at I believe 145 feet. You're real close. It's 135 or 140. I just lost count over the log, but it's in range.
Is it? I thought. No, it's 120. I have to move up.
Okay.
All right. I'm just gonna skirt around here, I guess.
Okay.
Like
yeah,
that.
no problem.
And as I pass by Minka, I just. All right. So hex on that
Free
guy.
action disappointment.
Free action disappointment, and that's okay. So we said 15 to hit, which you said hits. All right. Get him.
Destroy
That's
them.
9, 13, 15 points of damage.
15 points of damage. Interestingly, they had already received a little bit of damage. Actually, the most damage that they received was from the bullfrog. They got 1 point from Petal, 4
And they
points
got
from
poisoned.
the bullfrog.
I guess I don't know what the poison
Excuse
was
me.
doing.
Ooh, that's a burp. You watch as this guy, he steps out of the door. He's holding a little bag in his hand. In the other hand, you can see he is holding a glowing blue gem, unlike any that you've seen. Although, Minka, this seems to almost call to you. There is an element of wind to this.
Keystone.
It is an elemental gem. You are familiar with these. In fact, there's 1 or 2 people in your enclave that would have maybe traded these for something way beyond what you could afford. These are from the plane of air. But he holds it in his hand, and you can see this like wicked grin across his face. He holds it up, and then boom, right back into the building. You hear boxes break as he is knocked like feet back into the building. The gem, you watch as it into the air, ting, 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 and rolls into the corner.
Okay.
He is dead. Anything else, Alina?
She's gonna try again now that the leader, or who she thinks is the leader, is dead. She's gonna try again to like spook the grungs, even though it didn't go so well. So she's gonna call out, like, again, drop your weapons if you don't want the same to happen to you.
Make an intimidation check.
It's cocked.
For brevity, I have rolled. I am no longer dry.
Nice.
22.
22.
For brevity, I have reached.
You are now visible to everybody. You're not just standing at the door yelling into the battle, and they have now seen you annihilate 3 of their friends. And so you look, as you yell this, you can hear, because do you still have Comprehend Languages up?
Yep, it lasts an hour.
So with Comprehend Languages up, you can just hear, what did they say? And the other one goes, I don't know, but I'm not going to attack them. And you watch as they begin to turn as if they are certainly afraid of you.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else, Alina?
To the group, she's gonna say, let them run.
Okay. Ori, you feel way better. You spend the next 6 seconds just mushing this mud into your skin, your hair. You get it under your clothes. You're going to put it in your pockets for later because you don't want to get like this. And then as you get it into your pockets, you're like, I'm not dry. I'm muddy.
Fully saturated.
And on your next turn, you can use your fully saturated, unpoisoned self to do whatever you wish. Well,
Yeah.
that brings us to the top of the round. Petal is dead. The Mimic is dead. That brings us to the Grung. The Grung, the 3 that you can see near you, Minka, though you are stunned, they're like all in front of you with their daggers, and then you see they get kind of nervous after Alina talks, and they turn and begin to run. You can see like they're a little bow-legged, so they go kind of slow, but they take 50 feet of movement. And they seem to be running towards the wood line.
I'm gonna assume that the guy that's been stuck in the bushes for a while.
He's dead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what his face
There
was.
is, however, one that is still stunned.
He's
Or not stunned, sorry.
blinded, I think.
No, he's charmed at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
Because that cloud does change. And so at the moment, he is charmed. And what I will say is, as these grunts leave or begin to run, all of you get the sense that this battle is ending. Alina has frightened these grung off.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you wish to do with those 2 or this one that is laying on their back, just grabbing at this cloud?
Maybe just keep
Go tie
one.
it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Minka.
I'm just stunned.
Oh.
I can't do shit.
So Minka, you hold still as everybody dashes forwards and using your now like horribly torn apart and restitched together rope. Alina, this has been split into multiple sections now, canonically 3 times in 5 sessions. And so it's a mess, but enough to tie up the grung.
We keep tying it back together. So
I'm gonna
And there's a message there
wallow a bit in the mud still.
No problem.
'Cause,
Amethyst,
just like in self-pity.
take you out
Sitting
of
here
the-
just like, damn.
Does a 15 break the
Minka,
stun
it does.
finally?
Yay.
And so right as the music dies down and like everything seems to become a little bit less urgent, your body relaxes.
Oh my god.
Billy kind of like wanders over towards Alina and just be like, don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone about. Tell them you were really cool. Just don't mention my bit.
You look up at Billy and Billy covered in mud. It looks like they tried to like smear it in a little bit.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of blood mixed in with the blood.
Alina looks around and there's like there's like a stunned person and another very muddy person, and Alina's like, your secret is safe with me.
Billy kind of looks around to see if she can see Cheshire.
Okay, you look around for Cheshire. You see the horse now, like wandering through the dissipating cloud, and they approach you, Ori, looking for you. And now that things are a little bit calmer, they're going to come and find you.
Horse
Hey,
bound.
who's dying?
I feel great.
I'm not awesome, but Ori, how you doing?
Bit bloody, a bit muddy. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
All right.
Sweet.
Just come over here, please.
Could you?
No. We get closer to Minka.
So she's gonna cast cure wounds twice. Did you need one from each hand?
So ultimate group mom powers.
Of all of us,
Double
only
heal.
Cheshire has that spell.
So
Oh wait, do you? Oh no, because you're.
Billy S8.
You got no spells.
Oh, sorry, I forgot for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna retire this because it keeps rolling a 4. I don't know if it's
No,
broken.
because I was the
broken.
fire.
So it's
thrower.
2 8s.
Inner magic.
So 8 for Ori, 8 for Billy.
No, like that was just Hannah
And
forgetting that
then-
Matt doesn't have
8 for
spells.
Ori, 8 for Billy.
Pinka's gonna heal herself 8.
Nice.
And then
So much heals.
out of all of that, do either of you still look bloody?
Got some
Feeling
bruising,
okay.
but
You're both okay?
Yeah, I'm doing
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
can do with another nap.
And then, so there's an extra 9 left over. So I guess I'll just
Heal
fucking-
up that horse.
Again.
The horse looks.
Or make a
great.
You could heal the one who's tied up
That's true.
if you want.
So I'll heal the tied up grung.
Okay.
And then that is it.
Last one.
She's gonna
Okay.
drop.
So still giggling a little bit, you you heal this grung, and it's like the healing seems to break this effect that Cheshire had put on them. And at this point, they go, "Oh, gee," and they kind of like are tied up and looking around. Because it is 10:30, this is where we're going to end for the evening. So thank you for hanging out with us for a very interesting combat. Grung are awesome. I love them so very much. I tried so hard to put Grung into the first campaign and multiple one-shots, and every single time you guys are like, nah, and you just walk the other direction.
And then I became one.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for hanging out with us for this session of Adventures in Alberon. We'll be back next week, but if you can't wait that long, on Thursday, we are going to be playing Starfinder Mosaic Team 5 Session 45, I believe.
Oh, wow.
And there are a lot of interesting things happening there.
That's a lot.
Both of those sessions will be very special sessions, as it is Kara's birthday next week.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really fun. So join us for that. But until then, please stay safe. It is crazy out there. We'll see you next week.
Bye.